Welcome back. We're back for another one. It is currently 11:09 p.m. and of course today's date is the 2nd of February, 2026. How are you doing? How are you doing? Thank you for tuning in. Okay, today we're going to talk about what happened yesterday at the Grammys and of course the statement that said no illegals on stolen land. All right? You cannot be an illegal on the stolen land. According to an artist at the Grammys. All right. All right. Let's talk about this. No one is illegal. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Well, this is what I think about it. First things first. First things first. Almost no land today on Earth is currently occupied by its original people, by its original owners. So when you say on a stolen land, there are no illegals, well, every land on Earth is virtually stolen. Think about it. You think only America to conquer America? Every country conquered the land that they occupy right now. So when people make statement like, well, there are no illegal, or there should be no illegals, well, no one can be called an illegal if it's a stolen land. And what land is actually stolen? Okay. If you're talking about California, California was actually bought. It was bought from Mexico. Just go on Google. These are public information. Okay. But most people don't actually do their research and stuff. Okay. Right here on Google, it says California was acquired by the United States from Mexico on February 2nd, 1848. The United States paid Mexico $15 million and they gained the territory, California. So, what, can you guys hear me? Oh yeah, I'm back. So, what land was she talking about at the Grammys? I think her name was Billie Eilish. So she said, well, you cannot be called an illegal. No one is illegal on stolen land. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. If you're just tuning in, make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you tell me where you're watching from, and let's have a good time. No one is illegal on stolen land. Let me know what you think about that comment. Okay, let me know what you think about that comment. I do not support that comment because it's it's all hypocrisy. You're trying to say things to arouse people that naturally do not like President Trump. And of course, Hollywood obviously do not like President Trump. He used to be a Democrat and now he's a Republican. He became a Republican president. It's like, back decades ago, long, long time ago, everybody loved President Donald Trump. But now it's like new generations have been brainwashed and people don't even understand what's going on right now. People don't understand. Okay? We're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep protesting. We're going to keep blah, blah, blah. No one is illegal on stolen land. Education is very paramount. Okay? Just because you're a star, just because you're a celebrity, just because you're so wealthy doesn't mean you are educated. Okay? You can have a lot of money. A lot of people inherited money. A lot of people, just was born like that. Okay? So, or a lot of people just did something and they got a lot of money through sport or talent or whatnot. But that doesn't mean you know history or you know how things has worked for centuries. No, you don't. You just have to be educated on it. Okay. If you're an artist, Stick to being an artist. Stick to creating music. People love you because you create music, because you create art. It's fine. You could be that person. You could stick to it. And you can stand for things that you know about, not just things that, oh, Me Too movement. Don't do Me Too movement if you're not educated on it. So when someone says nobody's illegal or no one is illegal on stolen land, obviously you don't know what you're saying. Obviously, you don't know what you're saying. It is like common sense. Okay. So we spoke about almost no land is occupied by its original people because all lands were conquered by the powerful back then. That was just how the world worked. Okay. You can hate it, you can, maybe don't like it, but that's how it worked. The powerful took what they could from the less powerful. Okay. The strong took from the weak. Back then, that's how it worked. They conquered and they resided on the land that they conquered. This was, long, long, long time ago. And when people talk about same thing with slavery, people say, well, you know, people who look like me, have been in slavery for a long time. I get it. But the truth is, every group at one time in history were slaves. Every single group. There's no group on earth right now that was not collected as slaves by somebody else. Because if there's a strong person and there's a weak person, the strong person would always take advantage of the weak person, especially back then without laws, without, no policies to protect the weak. Now we have policies that protect the weak and you can sue, people can really go to prison for hurting weak people or weaker people. So now we're now living in a civilized world and people are forgetting how life used to be. Okay. Back then, you had to conquer lands and take by force. Everybody had to do it before we became civilized. Okay. That's just how it worked. Okay. So, no illegals on stolen land. Why don't you just say, okay, I'm going to move to North Korea and start my life since no one is illegal on stolen land? Go to North Korea. Grammys. The next Grammys should be hosted in North Korea. Y'all talking about no stolen land. Go to North Korea. Go do your next Grammys in Russia. Go do that. You don't want to respect the laws of the land? You're going to find out. You are definitely going to find out. It's only in America that you're allowed to talk that way. She could never say something like that in North Korea. No one is illegal on stolen land. Bruh. It's called brainwashing. Brainwashing. That's what it is. And it's only the younger generation. Well, not just the younger generation, because it's like the older generations are just, passing this foolishness basically to the younger generation. I've seen so many videos online and I'm wondering, do these kids actually have parents that discipline them to act right? I don't think so. I saw a video of a bunch of kids, maybe high school kids, literally bum fisting, like punching a teacher because he was talking about ice. I'm gonna play that video for you guys, but I don't want to play too many violence on this live stream. But it's like, what are we doing? And you know how many millions of people actually listen to the pop star Billie Eilish? You know what I mean? Like, there's a song she made that really, really, truly, I would keep in a special place because some of that really means a lot to me. Loved that song. So yeah, but that's why I said if you are an artist, whatever you do, if you're not educated in some aspect, you should ask for information or you should seek information. I mean, it's easy. You can go on Chat GPT these days and say, well, okay, do I actually have the right information? Let me know what to say. Let me know what I'm saying. Okay. Don't just go on the stage like the Grammy stage. Well, a lot of people don't watch Grammys like that, just like the Oscars. Back when I was in film school, I could never, and way before I went to film school, I could never miss Oscars and the Grammys. Now I can't even tell you the last time I watched the Oscars or the Grammys. I could see clips online and stuff, but I couldn't just sit down and say, "Ooh, I don't want to miss the Grammys. I gotta watch the Grammys." Like, mm-mm. I used to be that person before, but once you're awake, you know, you're awake. You cannot be asleep anymore, and that's the that's the thing about life. Okay, once the universe just breathe inside of you and gives you life, and you open your mind and see things for what it is, and not try to be sentimental about things. Okay, because I think children can be sentimental about stuff. Adults can be sentimental about stuff, but I mean, it's only right that we are grounded in common sense. Okay, you don't want law enforcement. Ice out. But if somebody comes and break into your home and you see them on your camera on your lawn walking to your front door, the first thing that would come to your mind is 911. You're not going to say, well, F ICE at that time. So you want to say F ICE and then you want to call the police? What do you want actually? You got to figure out what you want. Everybody, trying to say things that don't make any sense about law enforcement. You got to figure out what you want. Really, what do you want? What do you want? You don't want law enforcement? Say that, and stand on it. Stand on your we don't want law enforcement. Stand on it. But you can't. You know why? Because you need law enforcement. But you don't want the laws enforced. That's what you don't want. You want law enforcement, but you don't want the laws enforced. You don't want that. But you have to have that. You have to. Without law enforcement, everybody is in danger because there will be no law and order. Okay? So everybody needs to wake up. Everybody needs to wake up. Okay? And this isn't me like hating on whatever celebrity or whatnot, but it's just me speaking the facts. This is just facts. When people say no one is illegal on stolen land, every land was virtually stolen. Every single land that you see today was virtually stolen or acquired or paid for. So no one is illegal on stolen land. That statement is just a naive statement. That's straight up naivety right there. You're naive. What do you mean no one is illegal on stolen land? What land was actually stolen? You're talking about America or you're talking about California? If you're talking about California, like I said, California was bought. California was bought. The United States paid $15 million to acquire California. So, what land was actually stolen? That's what I'm trying to understand. What land? Oh, the United States stole land from Native Americans, and Native Americans deserve their lands back. If you go actually research, even Native Americans acquired lands from Native Americans. Okay. Even Native Americans conquered lands from their fellow Native Americans. I mean, Jesus, just do your own research. So every single land that we see today that people are, you know, living in right now was once somebody else's. Is it that it was conquered or it was acquired or it was paid for? One of those three things. And if you say no one is illegal on stolen land, then maybe you should say, you know what? Because there are no illegals, I'm going to move to North Korea, start my life. No, you can't. It's only in America that you're allowed to say this because this is the greatest country in the world. You are allowed to say your own opinion exactly like this, and nothing is going to happen. And we can make reaction videos about what you said, and President Trump can say what he's going to do or whatever. He's saying he wants to sue Trevor Noah. That was the anchor for Grammys because he spoke about Epstein files and blah, blah, blah. But I guess Trevor would be, Trevor Noah would be, it's going to be a long year for him for sure because President Trump, you remember what happened to the ABC guy? President Trump got a lot of money from that guy. So, yeah, I guess Trevor and his people would be getting ready by now because obviously this guy has a lot of lawyers, a lot of competent legal attorneys. So, hey, when you say things that are not, fully verified about somebody else, especially the president of the United States, I don't know what you're gonna what you were expecting, especially someone like Trump. So he's not gonna back down. He's never gonna back down, and he's gonna fight till the end. And it's just really unnecessary for someone like that to make statement like that. But the truth is not just making statement like that. It's more of the people in the same room cheering him up, cheering everybody up, saying, "Well, F ICE, well, da da da." Everybody was cheering in the room. So it's the same group of people who have influence over Hollywood, and then the kids that listen to this, celebrities, they're hearing these things like, no one is illegal on stolen land, and they grow up thinking like that. They keep thinking, "Oh, no one." No, no. This is why education and proper education is very important for children. Okay, very, very important. Every country had to fight to occupy the land that they live in currently. Every country, every country. So get your facts right. Get your facts right. Anyway, I wanted to just go on that rant a little bit. I wanted to go on that rant a little bit. How are you guys doing? Okay. I also want to show you guys something. So, JD Vance was in Concord, North Carolina, and spoke about the shooting at Dallas ICE facility and at Dallas ICE facility. Like people are now actively trying to hurt ICE agents. Isn't that just out of this world? It is out of this world. Anyway, may God Almighty breathe love in our heart because America needs love. America needs to heal. The people in America needs to heal. All ethnicities, okay? Whether you're Native Americans, whether you're African American, whether you are from the Caucasian community, whatever you are, everybody needs to heal in this country. Everybody needs God and love. Matter of fact, everybody needs Jesus in this country. Everybody needs love in this country. Like, what in the world? The divide is just scary. It is out of this world. This is currently in Minneapolis. Okay. These people are setting up barricades, trying to get ICE agents and trying to know if the people driving in or out, they're trying to know who you are. These are people, not law enforcement. Look at this. Who is this? Who is this person? And shout out to Daily Caller and News Foundation. Like, who is this person? Who? Wearing a mask? Blocking the road? Who are these people? These people are mostly paid people. Because what am I doing in the cold trying to block the road? This is definitely paid agitator. Say take control of the streets, make sure there's chaos. Basically, that's what they're trying to solidify. Look at this. And then they have ice out, ice out on look at that. Ice out. Look at the street looking like a third world country. Look at this. Ice out MSP. Ice out. Oh my goodness. This is absolutely bunkus. Bunkus. Chairs, planks. Look at this. On the road. You can't go to the grocery store, go to school. Like, you have these people on the street constituting, in my opinion, foolishness. Look at this. This is this right here. This right here is definitely why every criminal, illegal migrant has to be sent back. Like you have to be sent back. And this is coming from a legal migrant that became a United States citizen a couple of years back. It took me 5 years to become a United States citizen. It takes time. You have to sacrifice. You have to study. You have to pay. You have to give back. You have to invest in America. You have to be a part of the community. You have to do your own part. Look at what you're doing. Is this what you said you wanted to come to America to do? Disturbing the peace? Literally disturbing the peace. This is disturbing the peace. This is what disturbing the peace mean.
Yeah, he's just our Somalian Uber driver, man.
This is Minnesota, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, how's it going?
This
Your
is
plate
Minnesota.
came up as an ice plate. That doesn't seem like it's the case, but I just wanted to come through and see what was up and talk to you, see how you were doing. Okay, I figured, yeah.
I mean, he's clearly Somalian.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, well, glad to hear it. What's your name? Ali? Ali, nice.
How long have you guys been out here today? Are we
Of course,
good?
they're not gonna answer.
Yeah, we're good.
I do want to ask, what's the system you guys are using out here? I mean, because it's obvious that was wrong, right? I mean, the guy was just a Somalian Uber driver,
totally.
not
Well,
ICE.
the thing is, ICE, they're renting a lot of cars, but yeah, we'll take this off the list. Yeah. Who y'all with?
We're honestly just from California, just independent photojournalists. Name's
Okay, do y'all have like a Twitter or something?
Jorge Ventura.
Jorge Ventura?
Jorge Ventura.
All right, cool. Thank you.
How long has this been set up, man? Like, the images of this are going viral online. That's what we came. I don't know if you know if they're going viral. But.
Yeah, no, I heard that. People are people saying that, and a lot of the neighbors support what we're doing. So happy to be here.
Has local law enforcement said anything?
Not that we know of, no. But look, I gotta get back to this. I'm not trying to do no interview. All right.
This is wild. That man is definitely an American. Definitely. You can hear his accent straight from America. But this is what the American person actually supports. This is why ideologies matters. Values matters. I'm not saying don't protest. I don't have any issues with you protesting. You have the right to protest. Matter of fact, maybe in future one day when I disagree with anything that I actually value, I may be able to go outside and protest. But I'm not going outside to protest like this. This is not protesting. This is hindering the people in my community from doing whatever they've been doing since they moved into the community. Imagine moving into a community and the next day you go outside, you see this. You just bought a house. You literally just bought a house and you go outside the next day. This is what you see: iced out MSP. It's like, what? What am I doing here? What are we doing? Shout out to Jewel. Jewel said, that celebrity who said that, sorry, I forgot her name. I think her name was Billy. Uh, she says he has property on reservation land. I'm telling you, these folks most times don't even know what they're talking about. Shout out to Jules. Thank you for tuning in. It's like most people don't even know what they're talking about. No illegals. No one is illegal on stolen land. No one is illegal on stolen land is what caused this right here. This right here is what no one is illegal on stolen land can cause. This is a community. You've turned a community into Babylon, basically. You should have couples walking on the street, children, playing, doing stuff in the snow. That's what you should have. But look at what you have here. The street looking like Armageddon. It's looking like you are literally in another country. But this is America, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a joke. This is happening right now. Where are the law enforcement in this city? This particular city, this is in Minnesota, obviously. But where are the law enforcement right here? They don't want law enforcement. They don't. I don't even think the law enforcement people are, I don't think law enforcement really has any skin in the game in these cities. I don't think they have skin in the game anymore. It's like people are just fed up. And President Trump said something. He said he was going to just, withdraw his hand. But if any of these people actually, try to vandalize a government property in Minnesota, then he could do something. But this is not what protesting is. You can protest, but this is not the right way to protest. There are ways to protest that you can get your thoughts and the thing that you value and the thing that you're protesting against out without being this way. This is not peaceful protest. This is disturbing the peace. This is literally bringing down the value of your community. Who would want to buy a house in this type of community? I definitely don't want to buy a house in this type of community, and I don't want my 6-year-old living in a community like this. And most people say, "Well, you don't want to teach your 6-year-old how to stand for something." Yes, I do want to teach my 6-year-old how to stand for something, of course. But this isn't the way to stand for something. This is close to being violent. This is close to being violent. This isn't what America stands for. If you're tuned in, God bless you. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you share it, okay? God bless you. Thank you. I love America. I love America, and this is why I do what I do, okay? This is why I do what I do. I love America. America embraced me. I started my family in America, schooled in America. I am grateful for America. I am thankful for America. Why wouldn't you want to cherish a land that welcomes you in? Didn't ask for anything. What did America ask? Study, pay your fair share, be responsible, follow the laws of the land. What is too what is hard about those things? Isn't that common sense? Shouldn't you follow the laws of the land? Shouldn't you give back? Shouldn't you study the laws of the land? Shouldn't you have the proper documentation to remain in a land, in a country? You basically don't want borders. No borders. No one is illegal on stolen land. So go to North Korea and say trash like that. It's not gonna fly. That's if you make it till the next day in North Korea saying trash like that. No one is illegal on stolen land. You better not. Not it's not in North Korea or in Russia. Yeah, you're just gonna be, falling off the building. ask Go ask everybody that has gone against Vladimir Putin in Russia. Shout out to Jules. Jules says, everybody, you can share your opinions in the comment section. Okay, that's why we do this live stream. It's not just me having a conversation with you guys or me telling you my opinions. This is a platform where you can say what you want in the comment section. I'm not going to censor you. I'm not going to block you. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a Republican. I voted for President Trump. If you voted for Kamala Harris, it's fine. You are American. I don't hate you because you voted for Kamala Harris. I don't hate you because you don't like ICE. I don't hate you because you don't want borders. I still don't hate you. I do not hate you. But some people have hate in their heart, and it is it has become violent and is spreading across blue cities in America. This hate, this violent, this attacks, this agitating mindset, this isn't what America stands for. If you say you love your country, if you say you cherish America, why would you want to do this to America? Jew says, I don't understand fighting for criminal illegals to remain in the US. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Jew's like, why are people fighting, destroying their cities, looting stores, violating people's right? This is violating people's right because there's no way that, look, the cars can't even, this is a what? This is a three-way junction or four-way junction. You can't even turn right or left without trying to maneuver all through this, whatever this is called, blockade or barricade or whatever it is. Why are you doing this? Because you are law enforcement? America is so great that the only thing that can destroy America is America. I've said this multiple times. The only thing that can destroy America is the people inside America. Because everybody outside knows what America is capable of. So nobody's effing around. Okay, because you're gonna find out. Okay? In Venezuela, they found out real fast. Go ask Maduro. He found out pretty quick. Go ask Iran. Go ask all these other countries. They know. Okay, so nobody's effing with the United States. And if you've done it before, you know what happened to you. A lot of people can testify to that. But the people inside are the real issue. Because if the people inside are threat to America, the people inside are not in love with America, don't love America. They think America is the devil. Well, America, there's too much racism. There's too much this, there's too much that. America is this, America is that. It's like, okay, breathe, relax. Okay, just relax. Calm down. I promise you, it is not as bad as you think. It is not. You are making America become a third world country. People left third world country to come here, to start a new life here. And then they come here, and then they see things like this happening. These things happen in third world country because there are no law and order. No law, No order. And that's what people want in America. I don't know why this would be beneficial to anybody. Whoever is promoting this or funding this or making sure this happens, it's like, what do you have to gain? What do you have to gain in destroying American cities, causing commotion, causing unrest? Why? Because ICE agents are trying to deport criminal illegal aliens. All of a sudden, you would support the criminal illegal aliens over ICE agents? These people they want law and order when it benefits them. It's like, okay, somebody breaks into their home. First thing they want to do is call 911. But then you don't want criminal illegal aliens out of the country. But then somebody breaks into your home, you cry, oh, I call 911. You're calling 911? So you don't want ICE. If you say F ICE, no ICE, then you are essentially saying you don't want law enforcement. But no, they want law enforcement when it benefits them, but they don't want the laws enforced. You seeing the difference? So they want to be able to call the police when they are personally in danger or someone they love is in danger. But as soon as it doesn't benefit them and their agenda, the next thing is, well, we don't want law enforcement. But that's not what it truly means. They do want law enforcement because they need law enforcement because they live in dangerous cities. What they don't want is the laws enforced. How would that work? Just exactly like this. Like you see on your screen right here. Because normally, in a well balanced city, trash like this would not happen. When you have police that are allowed to police, this wouldn't happen. This would never happen. Shout out to Zyros Garden. It says W Genesis. How are you doing, Zyros? Thank you for tuning in, brother. If you're just tuning in, thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel, like, share. I do this because I love America. And, a lot of people have called me so many names because I just say things that I think is common sense. Okay? I think it's common sense. A lot of people have called me so many names. Common sense is now a rare thing right now, these days. Okay? Most people don't even understand what the word common sense means. It's like you have to go to college for 4 years these days. You have to go to college for 4 years to get common sense. When back in the day, just growing up, getting disciplined by your dad and mom at home, you already know, hey, we used to get common sense from home back when we were kids because you got spanked. Okay. So your brain was working pretty fast. You weren't, you know, you knew what to say, you knew what not to say, you knew what to do, you knew what not to do. But now, kids don't get disciplined. Kids are on their phone. Kids are on the device, getting brainwashed by Hollywood, saying no illegals on stolen land. And of course, you're on social media going, "Duh, duh, duh," getting brainwashed. Getting brainwashed. When is this going to stop? When is this hate for America going to stop? That is the question. When is this hate going to stop? And now I'm seeing more of the hate from Americans. It's like something is wrong deeply, everybody. Why would you start developing some sort of hate for your country? Because the news have total, total, pure, total control of the hearts of these people. They tell you what to think, they tell you what to do, they incite on what to do. Okay, it's like, well, very soon, pretty much everybody's going to be protesting. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, let's go protest. Because there are so many Me Too people that would do whatever they have to do just to get by. Because some people are actually getting paid to do this. Imagine getting paid to destroy your cities. Imagine getting paid to be an agitator. You are a full blooded American. You were born in America and you get money to destroy your city. You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed. I would rather go work Uber, DoorDash, McDonald's than hurt anybody or constitute nuisance or do stuff like this. I'm not about to be getting paid to destroy America. I love America. I'm not going to do that. And I just employ everybody to sort of have that mentality because this is your country. I wasn't born in America. I became an American citizen. And it's like, why can't people just cherish this country? Why can't you love your country? This is your country. Don't just let anybody come into your country because they're not letting anybody just go into their own countries. And if they do, look at their countries right now. It's becoming chaos. Police are not allowed to police. Is that what you want? Because if that's what you want, you got it. You got it. You don't want police? Well, this is what you're going to get. Or you want community police. Okay, you want the people to be the police. Well, this is what you're going to get. Law enforcement in these cities, they've been handicapped basically from enforcing the law, from doing their duties. Because if they do their duties, they are going to be called bigot or whatnot. Oh, you support deportation? Of course I support deportation. Of course. Nobody is saying deport the person who came here the right way. Nobody ever said that. There is nowhere that the president has said, we want to deport people who are here legally. No, it's illegal, criminal, alien. Those are the people that are deported. But you don't want them to deport criminal illegal aliens because the news has brainwashed you that they're actually deporting American citizens. Where? Oh, they're deporting American citizens. Oh, very soon they're gonna deport every one of us. What do you, does that even make any sense to you? You think you're gonna be deported and you were born here, or you're an American citizen and you think you're gonna be deported? Fake news, ladies and gentlemen, and it's everywhere. They're promoting fear. They're promoting fear, and these people are eating it up. They're eating it up. They're chewing it up, gulping it. Oh, very soon they're gonna deport us all. Deport you where? To North Korea? To China? To Russia? No, they're not. They're only trying to get the criminal, illegal aliens out of America. Let ICE do their job. Can you do that? I guess not, because we see here it says ICE out. This is sad because America provides for so many countries. And that's just the truth. I just saw an article last night about how the United Nations was already going bankrupt. President Trump just withdrew from United Nations and already they're going bankrupt. So that's to let you know that the United States was the United Nation. And yet, when you watch the United Nations, so many people, so many countries, so many representative of different countries are there talking about how they have plans for the United Nations and this blah 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 that. But now the United States is going. The United Nation just made a report saying that without the United States funding, they may be going bankrupt. That is to let you know the good America is doing around the world. But is this underlying perspective that people think that America is the enemy? "Oh, America is the enemy of this world. America is always doing this to other country. America is always trying to bully people. America is always trying to bombard people." Of course, I'm not saying America is perfect. Nobody's perfect. But or no country is perfect. But you can never tell me America has never done anything good or isn't currently doing good things around the world. So many wars has been stopped. And it's not just, pertaining to President Trump or President Biden or, you know, President Obama. It's just America, period. There are values America upholds, which is lend, give, give your helping hands to the needy. It could be in form of investment, it could be in form of whatever, but America actually has done a lot for this world. So it's like people are trying to make America the villain. No, America is not the villain. America is not the villain. If there was no America, do you think there would not be like crazy wars right now? Because everybody's just gonna bully people. But America literally stands in the way of so many things going on in this world. Like I said, America is not perfect. America is not perfect. Okay. But I, Genesis, I am glad I am in America. I am glad to be a part of this gorgeous, beautiful country that the Lord has made. And I suggest that you begin to see the light and you cherish your country. Cherish your country. Love your country. Love it. Because a lot of people would do anything, a lot. I'm talking about billions of people would do anything just to get to the gate, to the front gate border in America. So be smart. Do not destroy your country. Do not. Do not destroy your country for a lie. Don't destroy your country because of a lie. Let ICE do their job. Just let ICE do their job. They're law enforcement. Let them enforce the law. And it's wild that you don't get these types of outrage when things happen to an American that was incited or that was done by criminal illegal alien. You don't get barricades like this. You don't get blockage like this on the street saying, well, we would not stand for this. No, you don't. You don't get protest. You don't get people going bunkers because, a criminal illegal alien maybe assaulted somebody. You don't get this type of protest. But it's always as soon as America says, well, let me just say President Trump, because they're doing this basically because they do not like President Trump. They don't like the fact that he's the president. They don't like the fact that he's deployed ICE agent around the country. He said these things before he became president. And it's like, why are you surprised? Why are you surprised? This is what America voted for last year, November. Every time Trump is president, BS like this always happens. In 2020, you saw what happened in this same Minnesota. in this same Minnesota, ladies and gentlemen. It's like there's an agenda to destroy some cities in America. Why? Can we just wake up and snap out of it and say, no, we're not going to destroy our own cities? Hell no, we're not going to loot our own stores. This is our neighborhood. This is our community. There's no way we're going to loot our stores. There's no way we're going to block our roads and stop people from going to work and keeping the economy of our city going. Can you just wake up to that reality and just let ICE do what they do? Isn't that supposed to be common sense? But like I said, common sense these days, you may have to, you might probably have to go to college for 4 years to get common sense these days. Because most kids these days are being trained by YouTube, Chat GPT, artificial intelligence, the news media, or their favorite, I don't know, creator or influencer or celebrity in Hollywood. Nobody has core values anymore. Nobody has common sense anymore. Nobody actually opens up a book and read, or, okay, let me find out what America has done in the past. It's like nobody, these kids don't care. When you talk to younger kids and you say, what do you think about America? You listen to them, it's like they don't even like America. It's like, Jesus, are you supposed to be the future of America? Oh my goodness. Exactly. Jules said, I have always said it. If the United States is so bad, why are so many people trying hard to get here? Oh, I tried twice. I tried twice, Jules. I was denied the first time. I was denied. And I was like, okay, what did I do wrong? I didn't say, well, if since I was, can you imagine? I was denied the first time coming to the United States. To get the visa to come to America, I was denied the first time. And I was like, what? I'm actually coming to add value. You know, they were like, well, and I tried again and I got the visa and I came here. You see how it happened? It's like you have to wait your turn. You have to do it the right way. Follow the laws. It is that simple. Just follow the laws. Shout out to Enders. Enders says the grass is always greener on the other side. Well, you're right about that part. The grass is always greener on the other side until you actually get to the other side, and then it's like maybe it's a little brown. It's like Marjorie Taylor Brown. It's like Marjorie Brown. Marjorie Taylor Brown. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back in the audio. We're back. We're back. Anders said the grass is always greener, so of course it is Marjorie Taylor Brown. It's always Marjorie Taylor Brown on the other side until you actually get to the other side. But the fact is, we don't want to teach the next generation to hate America because who's going to be the next governors? Who's going to be the next U.S. representatives? Who's going to be the next congresswomen and men? When every of these younger generations have some sort of hate for their own country. Why? Because they think America is so bad. America enslaved people. America took people as slaves. Every country, virtually every country on earth, had slaves, took in slaves, bought people to do the hard work for them. That's how the world worked. Every ethnicities in this world were at one time a slave. America used to be with England until they said, hell no, no more, we're leaving. So every single person used to be slaves of somebody else. Exactly. Anders says people do not value what they have until it's too late. I can almost guarantee you that statement is 2000% correct. It is absolutely correct. People don't value what they have until it's gone. It's like, whoa, we had the greatest country in the world and we fucked it up. What in the world did we do? That's what these people are trying to do. But I'm glad that the president is, you know, is a well-known rebel. He is a well-known rebel, and he's gonna do everything he can. But just because of his personality, I don't think there would be an end to this protest, especially in blue cities like Chicago. The mayor of Chicago, like I said yesterday, he's now calling to sort of prosecute ICE agents that are not following the laws. What does that even mean? ICE agents that are not following the laws, we're going to prosecute them. Well, my office is in conjunction with blah, blah, blah. Bro, what do you mean ICE agents that are not following the laws? What about the criminal, illegal aliens in your cities? That should be your duty as a mayor. You should want the best for your people. Shout out to Ellie. Shout out to you, brother. How are you doing? Thank you for tuning in. God bless you. And everybody who don't know, Ellie has been like one of the first people on this channel, and he's supported since day one. God bless you, Ellie. He's from Chicago, and all of a sudden, I was just talking about Chicago and your mayor, and how the mayor of Chicago is talking about he wants to persecute. He wants to persecute, you know, ICE agents for what? For just doing their jobs, for doing their duties, for doing what they were employed to do? What about the people in Chicago? What about the people that need help in Chicago? What about the people that have been affected by criminal illegal aliens in Chicago? What about the high rate shooting that is going on in Chicago? What about all of these things going on in Chicago? Why wouldn't you focus on the things that help Americans in your state and in your city? Why? You would rather support some criminal illegal alien and say, well, America is a land of immigrants. Nobody's arguing that America is not a land of immigrant. I came to America like 8 years ago. So it's like everybody knows America is a land of immigrants. Nobody's arguing that fact. But nobody says America is a land of illegal immigrant. Because America is not a land of illegal immigrant. America is a land of immigrant. But they like to say America is a land of immigrant. Exactly. Notice how you didn't say America is a land of illegal immigrant. you know, shout out to Ellie. He says, shout out, Chi Town, baby. Yeah, it says, crazy coincidence, crazy timing. I know. Yeah, absolutely. You see, we're connected, Ellie. It's like, why, why? And this goes for every city that is just going bonkers about ICE. You are literally destroying your own city, looting your own stores in your own community, destroying the economy of your own community. For what? Because you want to stand with illegals? Life is hard, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes, you sympathize with people because they've been through a lot. A lot of these people that come here, try to cross the border. Life is almost unbearable where they are. I get it, but there are laws that you have to follow. It can be hard, but if you follow the laws, your life would be much more easier. Ellie says making the city safe instead of charging your citizens 15 cents per bag at the grocery store. We're not in a position to pay that out here. Our mayor and governor are the worst. Everyone knows. Shout out to Ellie. And the more illegal immigrant that pours in, the more things are going to get more expensive, especially homes, rent, because these people need where they're going to stay. They do. And now there's a partial government shutdown. I hope everybody knows that. There is a partial government shutdown right now. Why? ICE funding. They want ICE out. They don't want to fund ICE anymore. It's like we don't want to fund ICE. No, we don't. If you're not gonna stop funding ICE, we want the government shut down. Hakeem Jeffries is up. He's he's going. You know, I don't want to say some words, but he's they're all going bonkers. Basically, they're like, there's no way you're gonna fund ICE on this bill. If you do fund ICE, and if you keep deploying ICE agents in these cities, we will not keep the government open. So now the government is partially shut down. Instead of you to focus on your city, making your city safe, isn't that the priority for a mayor or a governor to make things much more affordable, to make your city safe? And like I said, you do not see outrage like this. You didn't see outrage like this for Lake and Riley. Okay. You didn't see people protesting around Georgia and saying Lake and Riley, Lake and Riley, Lake. No, you didn't see that. But let one criminal illegal alien video come out when it was being taken out of the taxi. Oh my goodness. By ICE agent. Everybody comes out to protest. What are you doing? It's not fair. He's a human being. No one is illegal on stolen land. But what about the criminal illegal alien that destroyed Lakin Riley's life? And like a dozen other people. Nobody protests for those people. Nobody protests for those people. And that's how you know there's a hidden agenda in this protest. Because this is not truly protest. This is just a way to have clips and videos, okay? To have their next campaign videos, because all of this stuff would be in the next campaign video. I don't know who's going to be running for whatnot. Midterms is here, okay? 2026. I don't know who's going to run for 2028 election, if Kamala is coming back, or who knows. Nobody knows. Or Gavin Newsom. But I do know all of these videos that is circulating online right now would be a great campaign commercial. Well, look at what Trump did to your cities. Look at what Trump has done to your city. He deployed ICE. 2 people got killed. Don't forget. I'm telling you, this is the next campaign video. 2 people got killed. Why? Because they're going to say President Trump deployed ICE. And people are going to get sentimental and emotional and say, it's true. I don't think I want to vote for a Republican for this midterm because everything is just the unrest is too much. Maybe we should have, maybe we shouldn't have Republicans for midterms. And it's always rare that the party who occupies the White House actually wins the midterms. It's hard. So, with all of these videos going viral, this is easy. I could almost guarantee that it's going to be almost an easy win for the Democrat this midterms. I don't know about 2028 because we still have 2 years to go to see what President Trump is going to do, accomplish more things that would solidify his second term, and he can pass the torch to whoever he wants to pass it to. Most likely JD Vance or Marco Rubio. But Marco Rubio said he's not running, if JD Vance runs. So JD Vance is probably going to be, the presidential primary candidate, and Marco Rubio may be vice presidential candidate. I mean, who knows? Nobody knows. But what we do know is this is going on in America right now. With Don Lemon, remember, Don Lemon was arrested because he went to a place of worship. They started protesting. But these people do what they want, basically. Going to a church to protest. Like, would you allow people coming to your yard, your private, location to protest? No, you wouldn't. But these people went to a church to protest. Well, they're gonna say, well, the church is a public place. Anybody can attend a church, just like, but it's still a private place. It's a public place, but it's a private place as well. People go there to worship, not to protest. and he was released without bail. You know what I mean? Sad. Now, not him being released without bail is what's sad. The sad part is him, you know, going into this, all of these other people too that went to the church. You could have stood in front of the church. You could stay in front of the church and protest because they said the pastor was an ICE representative or ICE boss or works with ICE. So what? It's always chaos with these people. It's never peace. It's never, let's have a dialogue like an adult and let's come to a, you know, conclusion where both parties win. Nope. It's either it's my way or it's the highway. Look at this. Look at this. This is supposed to be a community where people, run their businesses, take their kids to the park, take a walk, go to Walmart or whatever is in that community. Go to the corner store. And this is what they've turned this city into. Like literally, is he is there like a bonfire going on right there? Look at this. Look at that. Is that is that guy making is he currently making barbecue right there? Is that barbecue going on right there? It's probably a barbecue going on right there. Exactly. It's probably barbecue. They're barbecuing outside, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. It's just sad. This is not what America should look like. Okay? But I'm glad this isn't what the whole of America looks like. Okay? Some part looks like this, but this isn't the whole of America. So, well, hopefully, you move to a better place because this is not what America should look like. Any city in America should look like. It's okay if you don't support ICE agents. Protest ICE agent, but don't do this to your city. Don't destroy your community because you don't like ICE or you hate people that supported President Trump. And this is
Coming
another
together.
video that I saw on X, and I wanted to share with you guys. Of course, this was when Don Lemon was, I think it was seeing CNN or some other platform, media news or whatnot. But listen to where it all began because this video went viral sort of like in 2020, 2021, because this was during, that period. But listen to this.
Their message is peace and coming together in the country. What's your message?
You don't believe that for 1 minute, do you?
That their message is?
Yeah.
That's what they said to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe them. Of course
Any
I believe them
protests
when they say
over the
that.
deaths of these cops today in Baton Rouge?
I don't know that. I don't know that.
Any riots or protests over the police officers in Dallas, Texas?
What are you asking?
It's a pretty simple question.
I asked you if what's your message to the people. Their message is one of peace. What is your message?
My message has been clear from day one 2 years ago. This anti-cop sentiment from this hateful ideology called Black Lives Matter has fueled this rage against the American police officer. I predicted this 2 years ago. So what I want to know,
okay, Sheriff.
do I want to know?
With all due respect, do you know that this was because of that? Do we
Yes,
know
I
that
do.
As a law enforcement officer?
I've been watching this for 2 years. I predicted this. This anti-police rhetoric sweeping the country has turned out some hateful things inside of people that are now playing themselves out on the American police officer. I want to know, with all of the black-on-black violence in the United States of America, by the way, when the tragedies happened in Louisiana and Minnesota, do you know that 21 black people were murdered across the United States? Was there any reporting on that?
There was a black officer who was killed today. But
Was there any reporting on that?
Sheriff, please, let's just keep the volume.
Of course, of course, of course. There's always a hidden agenda. And that man just told Don Lemon what time it is. It's always a hidden agenda. Let's keep watching this.
Well, there
Was there any reporting on
a
that?
black officer who was killed today. But
Was there any reporting on that?
Sheriff, please, let's just keep the volume down here. So I understand, and listen,
I'm looking at 3 dead cops this week,
Sheriff,
and I'm looking at 5 last year. You trying to tell me to keep it down?
Just please, if you'll just please, we can keep it civil. So, because with the message to people at home, I'm sure you want.
No, Don. No, Don. No, Don. Don't try to. No, Don. No, Don. Don't try to sweep it under the rug. No. He's giving the stats. He's giving the stats. This is where it all started, where this agenda of, you know, no law enforcement, no cops, we don't stand with cops. This is where it all started. And this was back in 2019/2020. Well, 2020, basically. 2020 was the peak where everybody was like, defund police and blah, blah, blah. And people actually campaigned during that time that if you vote for me, I will defund the police. And people actually were like, "Whoa, we support it." And I could almost guarantee you, as soon as Don Lemon feels unsafe, the first number he's going to call is 911. That man right there just said the problem that people have in this country. They're trying to remove law enforcement. So if you remove law enforcement, obviously, you're going to get chaos. Who would be there to enforce the laws?
Is one of civility.
I wish, Don, I wish you had that message of civility
have a conversation
toward this
with you.
hateful ideology, these purveyors
You
of
don't
hate.
know what my message is.
That's
What I
what
want
they
to say
do.
to you is,
These
if you'll
people
let me get
preach
are you going to let me get a
vile
word in?
and virtue.
No, he's not going to let you get a word in because you had an agenda in the first place. You had an agenda in the first place. But now he's telling you that's a sheriff who has the numbers. He's telling you what time it is. But, everybody has their own mental situation going on because this is mental illness going on in America right now. There's mental institutions should come back open. A lot of people need mental health practitioners to actually examine them. This happened. This were some ICE agents. Well, no, wait. Let me get that fact straight. This was some liberal lady who, assaulted a Mexican guy for being a suspected ICE agent. Look at this.
Yeah! Yeah! Cover your damn face! Cover your damn face! Bitch! Fucking bitch! Fuck you!
Oh man, look at this.
Yeah! Cover your damn face! Cover your damn.
That's a good man right there. That is a good man right there. That face right there, that's the face of a good man. Because, everybody knows she deserved something different. That's a good guy right there. Because if she had done that with somebody else, yeah. And he just walked to his car. Is this what you support? Is this protest?
Yeah! Yeah! Cover your damn face! Cover your damn face! Bitch! Fucking bitch! Fuck you!
Now tell me this isn't like pure mental illness. Isn't this pure mental illness? Don't you think something is wrong with these people in their head? A young man tries to get try to get a drink, and she did that to his drink because she's protesting and she has people who support her behind her, and he just went straight to his car.
Fuck you! Yeah! Yeah!
Exactly, Anders. This is what I'm saying. Like people, I get it. You don't want ICE. You want to protest ICE. You don't. Da, da, da. I get it. I get it. Okay, I get it. You can protest, but this isn't the way to protest. If he had done something to her, you know, by now everybody would know about it. Everybody would know about it. But you know, she did that to him, and nobody said anything. Nobody said one thing. He just wasted his money. Is this the attitude that we want to support, that we want to continue in America? Every time President Donald J. Trump gets into the White House, every time he gets into the White House, this is what happens. They try to create chaos. So there will be videos for campaign. And that's why President Trump lost the 2020 election, because everybody saw the videos that were going, viral, with the fire, with, police station getting burned to the ground. It's like, wait, even though we admire what President Trump has done with the gas prices, with the mortgage rates back in 2019, back in 2020, it's like we don't want chaos in our streets. Maybe if we maybe not vote for him and vote for somebody else, the tension would cool down. That's what happened in 2020. Those videos were campaign commercial. Shout out to my guy Ellie from Chicago. It says, just watched your video about pivoting to a new style for the channel, and I think it sounds amazing. Just noticed I have been subscribed for over a year. It says 13 month. Mm. Shout out to Ellie. God bless you. Thank you for being a member of this channel for 13 months. That is pure love right there, bro. God bless you. I appreciate you. I cherish you. You are well loved on this channel. God bless you. Okay. He also says, and Anders says he looks like he was gonna cry. Of course, he looked like he was gonna cry. Of course, he looked like he was gonna cry because who? Because on a normal day, she should have found out. She should have just found out real fast, quick. But it's like, I mean, look at his reaction right here. When she did it, he looked at her like, man, man, on a normal day, you gonna like you should have gotten the boot, but look at this. Like he looked at her like it was like, man, like he looked like look at that look. Look at that look right there, like shoot out, shoot out. Okay, let me just go to the car, man. Let me just cause like he was like almost what like he just said, okay, I bet I'm just gonna go my car because this folks. Look at him. Look at his face. He almost went like that, like, but he was like, okay, let me just caution myself. But did she deserve that? 80-20. 80% deserved. 20 maybe not. But that's a pass mark, and she should have. But he was a gentleman. Okay, he didn't do anything. He just walked straight to his car. But if he had done something, straight on CNN. Straight on CNN. Why do we allow this to keep going on? Making videos of ICE agent and saying, well, Gestapo, Nazis. What do you have to gain from that? This is, and she's gonna say she's protesting. Everybody here are gonna say they're protesting. This is protesting in their heart. That's protesting. That's what protest means to these people. Violent. chaos, looting, assault is what they have termed as protest. I don't know when protest became putting your hands on somebody else's drink. She just assaulted that guy basically because she felt the energy of the people around her. Like, okay, if I do this, he can't do anything really because if he did do anything, these people here got my back. So I can assault this guy because we have the same violent energy back here. Is this what you're subscribed to? Is this what you want? Is this the kind of country we want to, you know, let our kids grow up in? No, you don't want this. You can disagree, but why can't you just have a dialogue about shit? Like, why can't you just have a conversation? Why? You have to resort to violence because you are a violent person. It's not because of ICE is in your city. You are frustrated because you don't have the life that you want. I get it. You're struggling. You're living paycheck to paycheck. Hell, a lot of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of Americans are, have a lot of credit card debt. A lot of Americans don't have $500 saved up for emergencies, even to change their tires. And a lot more Americans don't have $1,000 saved in any bank account. So I get it. A lot of people are hurting. I get it. But that is why you are turning to violence because you are naturally a violent person. You don't like your life, so you want to make everybody else's life miserable. That's what I see here. Because even if this is somewhat true that people are getting paid to cause chaos and people are being paid to agitate this whole thing, of course it's mind blowing because there's no way you would get paid to destroy your own community if you actually have your own job, if you actually have values, if you stand for the right values, you wouldn't get paid to destroy your community. You would not. You wouldn't take that check. Okay, I don't care how much they're paying you. You would not. You won't. But this is currently happening here. Shout out to Ellie. Ellie says, I want to give you a well deserved congratulations on the milestones you achieved. And I can't wait to see how this journey will go forward. And I hope I will be a part of it when it does. Ellie, you are amazing. I can, that comment, Ellie, as he is so, like, in so many live stream, he said that he cannot wait to see where this channel goes or my journey goes. He's always inspiring, he's always supporting, he's always saying good things. He has good energy. So I am happy for the kind of people that actually, even care about me, okay, online. Because a lot of people don't have genuine people that actually, listen to them and truly want to see them do good. Okay. And I want to see Ellie do good too as well. Same as Enders, same as Dr. Luke the Goat, and everybody, Sandra. Like, I want to see everybody do good because you guys embraced me. You don't have to embrace me, but you did embrace me. So it's my pleasure to do this. Okay, it is my pleasure. And I always tell you guys, we're gonna start. Okay, maybe I haven't said this part. I am gonna start a new YouTube channel. It is going to be titled Madhouse Conversations. Okay, and we're gonna it's basically bring in experience and curiosity in the same room. I'll say that again. Madhouse Conversations is going to be about bringing experience and curiosity in the same room. And the first episode would be dropping on my birthday, which is February 17. Okay, I'm going to put a little clip up here on this page just to promote that page, but that page would be my more branding page where I show more of my corporate side. Well, maybe not corporate side, but more of the kind of brand that I'm trying to build long term. Okay, because of course I love the United States. I cherish the United States. I support the United States. But sometimes this can be draining. This can be draining. It's like every single time there's something to talk about. There's something to talk about, and it's not every time that I actually want to talk about this type of stuff. Okay, because it's like, can we just have common sense and just do the right things and support law and order? Can we not just do that? Can we do that? Must we be divided people? If it's not Latinos versus this, it's black versus this. Like, why every single time? That's how you know there's an agenda to it. That's how you know there's something promoting this. There's something actually funding this BS. Because everybody has something they do every day. Something people go to work. Okay, people are tired. People are exhausted. People are in debt. People are trying to buy their first home. People are trying to afford their bills. Nobody's truly thinking about these things if the news media are not literally shoving it down your throat. Literally shoving it down everybody's throat every single time. Oh, today's like, well, a 5-year old was taken into custody by ICE and the father too. And it's like, she's stranded, she's by herself. And now people are like, why did I even vote for this person? It's like, I wanted deportation, but maybe I didn't want it at this level, blah, blah, blah. It's like, they're going to run that news for weeks. Okay. Fine tuning your psyche, especially when you have a weak psyche in the first place. You have zero values. Of course, it's like, okay, me too. You're a me too person. And then you go outside and join the protest. And if they ask you, what are you actually protesting? Well, you know, nobody's illegal on stolen land. Bro, really? And as Ellie, Ellie says, it's all true. Thank you, and I look forward to listening to the new music you released 11 days ago. Ooh, Ellie, this is my guy right here, bro. It says, I know it's been a challenging year for you, and I had a few things similar, but we are staying strong. Ellie, we're staying strong. We have to stay strong, okay? We have, and this is for anybody who, you know, is going through grief. You lost somebody important to you. I lost somebody important to me, and Ellie went through the same thing as well. And it can be the most depressing thing that has ever happened in life to you because you never thought that would happen. Nobody plans for stuff like that to happen, but it just happens. Okay, life happens, and you can't. You can shut off and decide to just be down and blame yourself because I'm not even gonna lie. When it happened, I was kind of sort of blaming myself, like, maybe if I had done this, maybe if I had, like you would have different explanation for why maybe this person would have lived longer if you did this, this way or that way, or like, but the truth is, who who do you think you are? God? No, you're not God. God does what he does when he wants to, okay? You don't know the plans. God has seen the beginning and the end. So who are you thinking you know what you're doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I know for a fact I'm in this world, but the things that would happen to me in this world, I don't really know. I just hope it's great, okay? But there are good days and bad days, okay? You're going to take the good days with a grain of salt, and you're also going to have to accept the bad days as well. Okay, it's just how life works. It's not going to be, you know, roses and sunshine every time. It's not. So you have to stay strong and try to find something that you love and that you cherish and that sort of gives you peace in your heart, and just focus on those things and just keep pushing. Okay, it can be hard. You can want to just shut off or shut out the world, which I wouldn't advise you to do. Please don't be by yourself when you're, going through grief. Try to find family members or friends or whatever, that you really love or cherish, if that works for you. But for the most part, stay strong, just like Ellie said, okay? I don't want to go back there. Okay, so let's just come back to this conversation, okay? Yes. So, don't destroy your cities because you stand with criminal illegal aliens. It's not going to benefit you. All right? Now, look at these kids. Look at these kids right here. These are supposed to be kids in high school learning. These are supposed to be the future of tomorrow. Okay, this is why we send our kids to school, because they're supposed to be the next congressman and congresswomen, the next, governors, the next vice presidents, the next secretary of state. But these are the next secretary of state. Look at them. So you can see this man he had the red hat on, of course. He had the red hat on. And these people are students, okay? These students from Hayes Consolidated School District attacked this teacher during a peaceful ICE protest walkout. They're saying it's peaceful. Look at what they did to their teacher. This is supposed to be their teacher, right? Get him. These are the leaders of tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Look at them. These are supposed to be the next congressmen and congresswomen. Look at this. Yeah, I just want to show you what brainwashing can cause, okay? Because I don't want to promote violence or whatnot, but I just want to show you what brainwashing can cause. This man had to run for his life. Look at this. This is the future. These are the people that are going to be running for Congress in the next 10 years. Some of them maybe in the next 6 years. And then when they bring their messed up ideology to Congress, everybody's going to say, why is that person thinking like that? No, it has happened from their childhood, okay? They've been brainwashed up until their adult age, where they're trying to be, congresswomen and following their path. Because now most of these people are like, okay, well, I want to grow up and change things. I want to grow up and change things. Everybody wants to grow up and change things, right? Now, if you already have the wrong ideology, think about this. Look at kids that are supposed to be learning about America. Look at what they're doing.
You a bitch. Hey, you want another ass beat? Come on out.
These are kids, ladies and gentlemen. And this is not just one school. It's happening around. So it's happening around most cities, especially blue cities. Okay, we got to say that it's happening especially around blue cities or in blue cities. Why? All right. We got to do better. We have to do better. I'm gonna show this JD Vance video here when he was in Concord, North Carolina. He spoke about law enforcement and why, you know, we should support law enforcement. Listen to this.
Most disgusting thing. The very people, and I think that is the most disgusting thing. The very people who keep us safe ought to be honored and protected and praised by Democrats and Republicans alike. It is time to stop the rhetorical assault on law enforcement. Because here's what happens. Because here's what happens when Democrats like Gavin Newsom did say that these people are part of an authoritarian government. When the left-wing media lies about what they're doing, when they lie about who they're arresting, when they lie about the actual job of law enforcement, what they're doing is encouraging crazy people to go and commit violence. You don't have to agree with my immigration policies. You don't have to agree with Donald Trump's immigration policies. But if your political rhetoric encourages violence against our law enforcement, you can go straight to hell and you have no place in the political conversation of the United States of America.
That right there is point blank period. Okay? That's the same thing I said. Like you don't have to like ICE. You don't have to. You don't have to support ICE, matter of fact. But what makes you think that the answer is violent? What makes you think that is to be a violent person? Or what makes you think that the answer is violence? What makes you think the answer is violence? What? That's because in the first place, you don't even like America. Okay, let's say the facts. You don't like America. Just say that. Just say I don't like America, okay? Just say that and everybody's gonna know. Just like, Rosie O'Donnell said she was gonna move out of America and she did. So if you're a part of that, that community that said they were gonna move out when, President Donald Trump became the president, I think you should honor your commitment and move out. Okay? Don't be destroying America because you don't like President Trump as your president. He still has almost 3 years to go. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna burn down the entire cities in America because you don't like President Trump? Because you want to get videos for your next campaign, for your next election? Is that what you're gonna do? Not right. It's not right, ladies and gentlemen. It is not right. All right, this was the video where the artist from Grammys last night said, "No one is illegal on stolen land." Listen to this.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
Can you hear the reaction in the room? Shout out to Ellie. God bless you. 13-month membership. One more time, Brody. Can you see the reaction in the room? Everybody clapping and cheering for her. This is Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. This is what Hollywood stands for. This is Hollywood. Everybody stood up and clapped and cheered because she said, "No one is illegal on stolen land." That's all she had to say. She didn't say, "Well, how are we going to get the homeless veterans out of the streets? How are we going to get most of these kids that cannot read on or above grade level to be able to read on grade level at least?" No, they don't even know if that's happening, do they? They don't. But as long as they know that they can arouse the crowd, they can, keep that momentum going, they're going to use it. They're going to use it. This is a celebrity that is, for the most part, disconnected with the world. These people live in mansions, okay? I heard her home was worth $14 million. 14. $14 million. Of course, you can say trash like, "No one is illegal on stolen land," because you have bodyguards, okay? You have security details around you everywhere you go. What about the normal American woman, normal American, teenage girl who doesn't have the fame that you have, don't have the money that you have, the resources that you have, and you say things like, "No one is illegal on stolen land." So meaning open up the borders and let everybody come in. Why? Because I got my own personal security. I got my own bodyguards. Could fly in a private jet. Okay. I don't have to go through TSA. Okay. I got my own driver. I'm not going to this protest. These people don't go to this protest. Do you see any celebrity in Minnesota protesting with these people? Of course not. Of course not. They're only gonna promote it on their X account, their Instagram account, and on the Grammys night to cause more chaos. And the fact that the reaction that she got from the crowd was cheers and applauds. It's like, why are you cheering? Why are you applauding? No one is illegal on stolen land. What land was stolen? California. Every land in this world was conquered by the strong. Okay? That's how it worked back then. That's just how it worked. Okay? Nobody right now, no land right now is being occupied by the indigenous people. Maybe if you go to Amazon rainforest, okay, maybe you can find some indigenous people in there. But no land. No, absolutely no land.
And yeah, it's just really hard to know what to say and what to do right now. And I feel really hopeful in this room, and I feel like we just need to keep fighting and speaking up and protesting. And
We need to keep fighting and protesting. What do you mean we need to keep fighting and protesting? Like, you're not fighting. You're not actually protesting. I mean, you can say some words, but you're not fighting. You're saying we need to keep fighting to these people on the streets. So when they hear their favorite artist, oh, my favorite artist, because most of these people are brainwashed by this artist. Okay, I don't know. I don't know how they get brainwashed to that level, but most of these people is like, well, she said we need to keep fighting. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. You're gonna destroy your own community, your own city, your own state because we need to keep fighting. What are you actually fighting for? That is the question. Well, we do not want anybody to be called illegals. Okay, move to North Korea. Shout out to Sandra. She says, it breaks my heart to know I defended our constitution to see this country being destroyed. Shout out to Miss Sandra. God bless you. Thank you for your service. And you are very cherished on this channel. She served this country. And of course, she's not happy. And she's been a member of this channel for 7 months. Salute. Salute to Miss Sandra, the veteran. Shout out to you. Salute. God bless you. Exactly. What do you think people like this who sacrificed their time, their physical well-being, their mental health? Because of course, if you actually have been in the military, it's a lot of, you know, it creates a lot of mental toll on you. So like she sacrificed a long time, served because she loves America. And then she sees, imagine she turns on the TV and she hears things like this.
no one is illegal on stolen land.
And everybody's clapping, cheering.
And yeah, it's just really hard to know what to say and what to do right now. And I feel really hopeful in this room, and I feel like we just need to keep fighting and speaking up and protesting, and our voices really do matter, and the people matter. And I say sorry.
But then screaming, "Foo! F-I-S-O!" No word about Lakin Riley and the rest of the other people that were destroyed by criminal illegal alien. It's like most people, it's like they don't even care like that. It's like, let's just say and do anything that gets us attention because we are, attention seekers and we just want to cause chaos. That's Ellie. Ellie says, uh, what's her name with the mansion shoot? should house some. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. With her mansion, she should house some illegals on her property. Exactly. Anybody who says things like this, just say nobody should be. You don't want anybody should be called illegals. All right, bet. I'm gonna open my home. I got a lot of money. I mean, she's a mainstream world artist. Everybody knows her name. You know, she's touring around the world. She's a big name. Okay, she's a huge pop star. Okay, a lot of money. People pay to go watch her. So buy a big land, build a big house on it, and allow all the illegals pouring in there. No, she's not gonna do that. No. Ellie says, Billy, come on. Let some of the people you are defending to take shelter in your mansion. No, she's not. No, she's not. She's never gonna do that. Why would she do that? This is where they say stuff like that to get, you know, popularity, to get the news media to, promote it and say, well, a lot of pop stars in Hollywood are standing against ICE. Boom. That's what they want for their, would I say, maybe the people who are funding their careers. It's always follow the money. Okay? Follow the money. That's why this guy, what's his name? Neek. Okay, Nick. I forgot his last name. Nick. Nick was like, he went to Minnesota. You saw some everybody. I mean, it went viral. Nick's YouTube has gone viral right now. Okay, and it's like he went to Minnesota. He went to the daycare center. He went to all of this other organization or institutes in Minnesota that were supposed to be functioning. Okay, that were getting funding from the government, and they were supposed to be functioning, but they were not. They were not. That's where we are in America. That's where we are in America. Just follow the money. Most of these folks are being funded by the people who want illegals in here. And President Trump said something. He said, maybe, just maybe, the reason why these people want illegal immigrants here is because maybe they want to use them for votes. Maybe they want to use them for votes. So because you want to ascend to power, so because you want to win elections, you would rather destroy your country. I mean, everybody's on their feet, screaming, screaming, clapping, yelling, and saying, "Go, girl! You go, girl! Yes, yes, girl!" All privileged people, all privileged people. They don't, they all probably, none of them here are living paycheck to paycheck. It's like, why would they live paycheck to paycheck? They're not walking the streets by themselves. Okay. Shout out to Ellie. Ellie says the whole property will lose its value in no time and she will leave to the next mansion shameful. Of course. And that's what they're doing to Minnesota. I'm sure. I mean, who wants to move to Minnesota right now? Who's going to move to Minnesota? Ain't nobody moving to Minnesota. Hell no. Because you're not going to feel safe. Okay. Why would I move to Minnesota when the roads are blocked? Uh, Protest is not actually protest. It could actually very fast or very quickly turn into chaos. So they're literally destroying Minnesota's economy. That's what's going on. Because who's gonna go to Minnesota? Who? Who's gonna go? Miss Sandra says, Ellie, where are you? Chicago. Ellie says, we're all done, but it's my TV. We are all one, but it's my TV. Okay, what else? Okay, Mr. Dav, crazy place in a crazy time. Hope everything is okay over there for you. My family is safe so far. Exactly. And that's another thing. Miss Sandra is in Minnesota right now. Okay, she says all the Somali businesses are shutting down. Is that, I think that's good news, right? Is that good news? Miss Sandra, let us know. Is that good news? I think it's good news. Well, the legit ones could stay open. They shouldn't be they shouldn't be pushed out because if you're legit, okay, you should stay open. But if you're if you're not legit, if you're a scamala, okay, if you're a scamala, I don't if you're a scamala, then of course, you know, you should be shut down. You should be shut down. Shout out to the GOAT. The GOAT, Dr. Luke, is in the building tonight. Shout out to the GOAT. Mm. It says, hello, beautiful people. How you doing, the GOAT? Saw your uploads. I gotta put my comment on there. Everybody, check out Dr. Luke's, the GOAT's YouTube channel, Porter Music. I think you should comment with Porter Music up here so people can actually go watch your stuff. But the GOAT, the GOAT is fire, okay? His guitar skills out of this world, okay? If you're trying to have a beautiful evening with your glass of wine or whatnot, go check out Porter Music. So, hey, what are we doing? Calling illegals Americans. Mhm. What are we doing calling illegals Americans? That's not what we should stand for. That's not what we should stand for. All right, here we go. All right. This is in the America that a lot of people knew growing up. Okay, this isn't it. Okay, this isn't it. Shout out to Porter Music. Boom, that's Porter Music right there. Okay, that is Porter Music right there. All right, that is Porter Music right there. So you guys go check Porter Music out. He's legit with the guitar. Absolutely legit with the guitar. So check him out. We got to do better, ladies and gentlemen. We got to love this country. We got to support this country. Okay. And also, I saw this video. I saw this video on, on X, and it's going viral. I'm sure you guys have seen this too. Check this out. Okay. These are the people influencing your kids. Okay. Look at this. These are the people influencing your kids. Okay. Of course, no one is illegal. Look at this.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Look at this. So these are the people that kids are watching these days. These are the people that admire and spend their time on the internet following, listening to. Look at this. Of course, you're gonna say no one is illegal. I mean, Jesus, what is going on? These are the people that are controlling the minds of the younger generation. zero values, zero mindset. Okay. Zero, basically. This is why watch your kids, okay? Spend time with your kids. Try as much as you can. Try. Try. Because it's like these are the people that the children are watching and following and thinking these are their mentors. Hell no.
When I watch what Trump do, and I go back and I look at real facts about how this man went to court every single day with Michael Jackson, how him and Don King was super, super cool, how this man was on the Wu-Tang Clan album, how when Jennifer Hudson's family was murdered, he put them up in Trump Tower for 6 months, protected them, didn't charge them a dime. How he sent his private jet to go get Nelson Mandela out of prison. How he gave Rainbow Push and Jesse Jackson $1 million to get started, to get activated in the black community. How he gave me and Kwame Kilpatrick pardons to restart. I hear what people saying, I watch what they do. I hear people saying they mad about Trump about the Central Park 5, and I get that. But then I know Trump passed the First Step Act, which done freed close to 20,000 people to this day, including Big Meech getting out on some of that sentencing reduction. That ain't got nothing to do with Kamala though. That's Trump in the First Step Act. But then I hear what Biden's saying, but I know Biden responsible for the 94 crime bill and the crack cocaine disparity. The thing that took all the real niggas off the streets. This is what Trump's First Step Act was in retrospect to that. Trump's First Step.
This is why when people say, well, what has Trump done for the African American community? It's like, because you don't do your research, of course you don't know anything he's done for the African American community. You don't. Okay. You don't. She just named. Oh my goodness. I didn't even know President Trump sent his plane to go pick up Nelson Mandela out of prison. What? That man is the Don. I gotta roll that back. What?
I go back and I look at real facts about how this man went to court every single day with Michael Jackson, how him and Don King was super, super cool, how this man was on the Wu-Tang Clan album, how when Jennifer Hudson's family was murdered.
Wait. Trump was on the Wu-Tang Clan album? Wait, what? When did that happen? So when did he become racist?
He put them up in Trump Tower for 6 months, protected them, didn't charge them a dime. How he sent his private jet to go get Nelson Mandela out of prison. How he gave Rainbow Push and Jesse Jackson $1 million to get started, to get activated in the black community. How he gave me and Kwame Kilpatrick pardons to restart. I hear what people saying, I watch what they do. I hear people saying they mad about Trump about the Central Park 5, and I get that. But then I know Trump passed the First Step Act, which done freed close to 20,000 people to this day, including Big Meech getting out on some of that sentencing reduction. That ain't got nothing to do with Kamala though. That's Trump in the First Step Act. But then I hear what Biden's saying, but I know Biden responsible for the 94 crime bill and the crack cocaine disparity. The thing that took all the real niggas off the streets. This is what Trump's First Step Act was in retrospect to that. Trump's First Step Act overturned that 94 crime bill. That's why we see all the real ones come home. That's why we stuck with a generation of little Nas
Put chills on my back right now.
Exactly. Because a lot of people don't know these things. Okay. A lot of people don't know these things. It's just, follow what CNN says or, what most of this news media says. It's like, no. Why do you think he's racist? Because what? Because what? Because he said what? He was gonna deport illegal criminal alien? Oh yeah, because nobody's illegal. Man, please. Sit down. This is what every celebrity are just liars and bad actors, literally. It's like they know these things, but they're just gonna act like they don't know. It's like exactly. Exactly. When you come out here and you say no one is illegal on stolen land, that means you're not educated. Like common sense is far from you. What do you mean no one is illegal on stolen land? Exactly. What land was stolen? Let me know. Okay? Because every land, like we all know, was conquered. Okay? And California, if she's saying California is a stolen land, Well, California was bought by America from Mexico. Okay. For about $15 million. So what does she mean stolen land? Nerd Report says they don't care about the kid. They don't. And Miss Sandra says Ricky always says it the way it is. Exactly. Miss Sandra says these people will never, or those people would never see the pearly gates. Say, well, like, hey, she means heaven. Okay, for the people at the back who don't know. Okay, and it's facts because these people don't know what's going on in a regular, ordinary American life. Okay, they don't know that you clock in for 9, 12 hours. Okay, that you work overtime just to pay your bills. They don't know that people leave paycheck to paycheck. They don't know that most Americans don't have $500 in their savings account for emergencies. They don't know. These are privileged people. Okay, they are. They have security details. So it's like, what do you actually think you know about the real world?
To make your own way here in your own place.
Except your little award and F off. Pretty right. Okay. The OG himself. We're going to close with the OG himself. We're going to close with the OG himself right here.
Very much.
This happened about 5, 6, 8 hours ago. And he spoke about Trevor Noir. And everybody knows Trevor Noir was the anchor for Grammys yesterday. And he spoke about Epstein files and how President Trump was on Epstein Island. And President Trump was like, I was not on Epstein Island. I was not on Epstein Island. And for you to say that I was on Epstein Island, even the fake news media has never said I was on Epstein Island. So you maybe want to get sued. So Trevor Noir would have to find out. That's all I can say.
Nice to see you. And today we're announcing the creation of the U.S. Strategic Critical Minerals Reserve, the first ever stockpile of critical minerals that you've been hearing so much about. We have the greatest experts on earth behind me for civilian use in times of emergency. We're pleased to be joined on this occasion by General Motors CEO Mary Barra, who's setting records, huh? I hear you're doing unbelievably. 24 hours round the clock, your factories, and you're building brand new factories. Amazing. Great job, Mary. Of course, it helped that you have a president that knows what he's doing. But it's a great job. Proud of you. As well as founder and executive co-chairman of Ivanhoe Mines, Robert Friedland. Thank you, Robert. Thanks as well to Secretaries Marco Rubio, Scott Bessent, Doug Burgum, Howard Lutnick, and Export-Import Bank Chairman John Yovanovitch, along with Senator Bernie Moreno and Congressman French Hill and Bruce Westerman. Thank you all. Thank you, French. For years, American businesses have risked running out of critical minerals during market disruptions. Today, we're launching what will be known as Project Vault to ensure that American businesses and workers are never harmed by any shortage. We don't want to ever go through what we went through a year ago. Just as although it did work out. Thank you. Just as we have long had a strategic petroleum reserve and a stockpile of critical minerals for national defense, we're now creating this reserve for American industry so we don't have any problems. This historic initiative will combine $10 billion in export-import bank financing with $2 billion in private sector financing, and we even expect the American taxpayer to make a profit from the interest on the loan used to start the Project Vault. It's an amazing thing. They've been talking about it for years. Other presidents did a lot of talking, but they didn't do anything. Over the past year, my administration has taken extraordinary steps to make sure the United States has all of the critical minerals and rare earths that we need. We're investing in mining projects. We're expediting federal permitting. The federal permitting, and a lot of it is Lee Zeldin, who's been fantastic, but federal permitting is such a big deal. And we're doing that. The permitting of mines and signing major critical mineral deals with countries from all over the world, and we're getting along with all of them. Every one of them, they want to be in the proper position. We're working very well with countries from all over the world today. We're building on these achievements with this vital new reserve, and now I would like to ask Ex-Im Chairman John Yovanovitch to say a few words, followed by our friends from business and Congress. We'll go over that, but we have some great business leaders, the best, here today. And John, if you would start it off, that'd be great. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. The President gave us a very clear directive. By clear directive, it was much more of an order for us to figure out how to, for the first time in American history, create a strategic critical minerals reserve in a way that would benefit the non-military manufacturing complex. And the challenge was enormous.
Miss Sandra says he looks tired. Of course. People always forget that this guy is 80 years old. Okay? Of course he's tired. He has to battle his fellow American people. Okay? It's not enough to go against Vladimir Putin or President Xi or renegotiate deals with Modi of India or talk to Japan about trade deals or how Japan can invest in America. Like, all of these things are things that he has to do. On top of that, he still has to fight for himself, try not to get impeached. Okay? He's exhausted. I don't even know how he sleeps at night. Okay? I don't know how he sleeps at night. He must be absolutely exhausted. He must be walking around the clock. I don't know how he does it and is 80 years old. Crazy.
Not simply because it had never been done before, Mr. President, but we knew that you expected us to deliver in a big way, in a way that was scalable, in a way that was designed for long-term success, and in a way that would help revitalize our domestic mining industry. But most importantly, most crucially, that it not be subsidized by American taxpayers. And so that's exactly what we've done. Mr. President, what you've announced today is a truly uniquely American solution. It brings together our capital markets, which are the best and biggest in the world, with our manufacturers, our innovators, our miners, all pitching in to make this possible. Now, these things don't happen without the best and the brightest within industry being at the table. And Mr. President, everyone wants to engage with this administration, with your administration. The key ingredient here was your call to action. Your call to action allowed us to bring together the best players in the market, sometimes the fiercest competitors, getting them to work together to come up with a creative solution. Now, in addition to our great team at the Export-Import Bank, who worked around the clock, led by Brian Greeley, Jeff Wilson, Sarah Whitten, and many others, we benefited from having the biggest manufacturing CEOs, the smartest market players at the table, all looking to solve this problem. So what we have with Project Vault is marrying the capital solution with what we need when we need it most. And the best part about it is that the American taxpayer will earn a return on financing the first ever strategic critical minerals reserve in history. And we thank you, Mr. President, for allowing this to happen. All of the people around us today help make it possible. Our cabinet secretaries, our top CEOs, their teams, top market players, whether it be GM, GE Vernova, Boeing, Clarios, Google, Mercurio, especially Brian Fallick, Hartree, Traxxas, our friend Robert Friedland. All of us work together, Mr. President, to deliver this for you, and for the American people, so that manufacturers and workers all across the country can rest assured they'll have what they need when they need it most. So,
and you're covering everything with this. We're not just doing certain minerals and rare earths. We're doing everything.
Everything on the critical
What about
list.
magnets?
We're focused on the critical raw materials, and we anticipate that led by our great manufacturers, will help breed even more solutions.
Great job. Thank you very much. Doug Burgum, please.
Mr. President, again, I want to echo what John said, which is a great thank you to you. You've set the direction, and when you took office, You've done more in the last year for mining and minerals in our country, perhaps than any president in history. Just like drill, baby, drill, you said mine, baby, mine. And what's happened in our country is you've led us through deals with equity deals for the first time. The United States of America is driving equity deals to help sustain and balance this market. You unlocked Alaska with the Amber Road project. That opened up over 1,700 mining claims in Alaska. And of course, on beautiful clean coal, we've got critical minerals that are co-located with that coal, and we've unlocked that. The Biden administration did 0 coal leases during the last 4 years. You've done hundreds of millions of tons of coal leases. That's going to help drive electric prices down in America. Permitting, you mentioned this in your remarks. There were some permits that had lingered for 29 years. They got done in 4 months last year under your administration. And under your emergency authorities, some of these permits got done in as short as 12 days. You helped create a club of nations to help balance out the fact that we didn't have markets that were functioning around critical minerals. You led off with Australia, Japan, Korea, Saudi Arabia, and Thailand. This week we'll announce 11 more countries that are joining that club of nations as part of this global coalition. And behind that in the pipeline, there's 20 more nations that want to join under your leadership to allow for trade of critical minerals. And then here we stand today with the teamwork that was described. This would not have been possible without the incredible cabinet that you put together. Marco Rubio, Scott Bessent, Howard Lutnick, Chris Wright, and many others were involved in bringing this together through the vision. Standing with us today are some of our chairmen of our great congressional leadership who also have supported this and helped us find a way to do this without any appropriations. This is happening without tax dollars. And of course, our team on the ground here at the White House, including David Copley and everybody else at the NSC, David leading the global supply chain work, the folks working with the Ex-Im Bank team, working around the clock to make all this happen. So again, when you lead, when you put out a challenge, the teamwork happens. And then here we stand today. This is the largest Ex-Im Bank deal in the history of the Ex-Im Bank by more than double, and this is going to help drive national security. It's great for American manufacturers. It's great for American workers. Congratulations, President Trump.
Thank you. You're doing a fantastic job, Doug. Thank you. Could I ask Mary Barra, the Chairman CEO of General Motors, which is setting records every single day, and she's doing a fantastic job, to say a few words and also discuss how good the car business is now in the U.S., please.
Well, Mr. President, I want to thank you for your commitment to strengthening U.S. manufacturing and supporting the auto industry. Also want to thank your cabinet and members of Congress and the whole team here that made this possible today. Having a resilient supply chain is critical for our nation, and it's critical for all industry, especially the auto industry. We have been strengthened with many of the different policies that have been put in place over the last year. So I want to thank everybody for that. It not only supports U.S. manufacturing, it supports job creation. It also supports the consumer. So thank you. And business is held very strong. We still see a strong consumer, so I'm excited about 2026.
I think it's going to be a record with all of your new plants opening up and everything else in our country. So in our country.
Robert?
Please.
Mr. President, thank you so much for what you've achieved. Everything we touch, we either grew it agriculturally and you've helped the farmers, or we mined it. All these cameras you see in front of you, they were mined. Every time you pick up a hand phone, it was mined. And so stimulating the ability for the miners in this country to help you industrialize the country, they're the salt of the earth, and we're super excited that America is doing something for not only our national security, but for the reindustrialization of the country, because you can't reindustrialize Detroit with a lot of metal. And I'm telling you on behalf of every miner I know, they're elated at the breakthroughs that have been achieved here. They'll make a lot more cameras in the future. And maybe you can help us teach everybody that everything you touch like that, somebody mined it. And we need your support, and we're really happy to get it.
And congratulations, you're in the Hall of Fame. Is that the Rare Earth Hall of Fame or Minerals Hall of
It's
Fame?
a bunch of pictures of dead guys that go back to Herbert Hoover, who was a miner. Mining's down to 1% of the S&P 500, but really everything you touch needs mining. And this is the first administration with your support where we've got hope We can go out and really do it. So, as you know, I last met you in Saudi Arabia with Mohammed bin Salman. We're working in Chile.
Right.
We want to bring these metals back to the United States and refine them and use them right here. And the vision of this administration, Howard Lutnick's been helping a lot. A lot of people at Exim Bank have been helping a lot. I'm just telling you, the morale of the miners is sky high.
You're doing a great job. Thank you very much. Congratulations. That's a big deal. Thank you. How about French Hill? Say a few words, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, on behalf of Congress, Chairman Westerman could talk about how he's helped unleash the ability to mine through permitting reform. And Senator Marino and I serve on the House Financial Services Committee and Senate Banking Committee. And we're best in this country when we take the private sector and we leverage it to unleash the directions that you're made. And so together with our reauthorization of the Exim Bank, we leverage that resource with private sector dollars to make this a success. And it's going to be a huge strategic change in America's industrial capacity.
Big difference, right?
Big difference.
There's never been really anything like what we're doing. Bernie, please.
Not to be hyperbolic, but if you hadn't been elected, the auto industry in America would be over.
The country would be
completely over.
The country would be over.
Well, but the auto industry would have been gone first. What the Democrats had done with electric vehicles, the mandates, what you were able to accomplish last year, Secretary Lutnick, what Secretary Bassett was able to do with your leadership has transformed the auto industry. And I tell you, it's never been better for people in the auto industry. I hear from all my friends. They are elated. And the worst part is that the people that you really saved were the car dealers in California and New York and New Jersey. Right.
And they fought me all the way, Mary, right? They fought me all the way, and now they're saying thank you very much. But you're doing a great job. Thank you, Bernie. Scott?
Sir, as you always say, economic security is national security, and a country does not have sovereignty if we don't have control of our critical minerals, don't have control of our steel production and our industrial base. And thanks to the work of everyone here through your leadership, this was a public-private partnership that only you could have assembled, and we are taking back our sovereignty, and we are going to have this Vault project, a strategic mineral reserve. And I can't tell you how innovative and exciting this is, and the level of security it is going to give us going forward is phenomenal.
And how is your new, and I think new and improved Fed chairman doing? How's that all going?
So he's off to a great start.
I think so.
He had so much built-in credibility, and as the American people, smart people, like Representative Hill, the Senator Marino, they already knew him, and as the American people get to know him, the important thing is that they will be able to trust the Federal Reserve to steer the economy for them.
He's going to do great. Howard, please.
So, prior presidents took America for granted. They let our critical minerals only be controlled by China. They let our mining business go to hell by closing all the mines, closing our coal plants while China opened them. They let our auto industry, right? We used to produce 75% of our cars in America, and when Biden left, it was below 50%. We were just letting all of these industries just be shredded from America. And thank goodness you are in this chair, changing it and taking it back. We are taking back critical minerals. We are taking back mining. We're taking back the auto industry. You're going to watch us take back pharmaceuticals. We're going to take back semiconductors. None of this could possibly happen without your leadership. And it is the most fun to stand back here with your leadership because we are changing America back and making it great again.
That's very true. Anybody would like to say anything else?
Amen to that.
You guys okay? Everything all right?
Chairman Bush.
Amen to
Thank
that.
you, Mr. President.
You're such a good man. Go ahead.
It's a great day, and it couldn't have happened without your leadership. And I think people will be talking about this for a long time because we're bringing back American mining and American manufacturing. You know, God blessed our country with abundant resources. Secretary Burgum talked about the Ambler Road. 49 critical minerals that can be mined in sufficient quantities just in that one area, but from northern Minnesota, Arizona, my home state of Arkansas, we are blessed with all these minerals. They're just in the ground. But when we get them out of the ground and not only mine them, but refine them and process and manufacture with them, it'll unleash great wealth for our country. and that'll just build on all the other successes. So thank you for what you've done. It's a great day.
And how does it feel to be in the Oval Office? Is that crazy? Were you ever here?
No, I've never been here, sir.
Most people haven't been. Mary's been here a little bit, right? But it's a special place. Never been so beautiful either. Yeah, questions, please.
Mr. President, speaking of the Fed, would you like to see Janine Pirro drop the investigation into Chairman Powell to help? Senator Tillis has basically said that he's not going to really be working with the administration to help bring war. So would you like to see the investigation
No, she's
go
going to
away?
take it to the end and see. Like you're doing a small renovation, and they've spent almost $4 billion doing a small renovation. I'm doing buildings. I built a hotel, the Waldorf it's called, and I did it for around $200 million. It's a much bigger job. They're spending almost, it could be $4 billion. I'll tell you what, I don't even see an end in sight. I feel badly for the new Fed chairman because he may not have an office for 4 years. I don't know what these people are doing. So it's either gross incompetence or it's theft of some kind or kickbacks. I don't know what it is, but Janine Pirro is incredible and she'll figure it out. But no, you want to take it and just find out what happened, because we can't go around doing a renovation of a small little complex, very small, couple of little buildings, and spend billions and billions of dollars on it. Something went wrong. We have to find out what it was. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, thank you. Speaking of renovations, you announced you wanted to build a new and spectacular entertainment complex at the Kennedy Center.
Right.
Do you plan on tearing it down, and how much will all of the renovations cost?
Probably around $200 million. And, it's funny, in real estate and building, I've done so much of it. I've done so well with it. You want to sit with something for a little while before you decide on what you want to do. And, we sat with it. We ran it. It's in very bad shape. It's run down. It's dilapidated. It's sort of dangerous. Things fall out of ceilings. You've seen it. And we had some big events there. We had a lot of great events there over the last year, but you can't do any work because people are coming in and out, and you have the workmen. We have a marble man over there the other day. He said, every time I put down a piece of marble, people are stepping on the marble. They don't even have time to dry. And you can't do the same quality job if you close it, and, we're fully financed. And so we're going to close it, and we're going to make it unbelievable, far better than it ever was. And we'll be able to do it properly. I was thinking maybe there's a way of doing it simultaneously, but there really isn't. And we're going to have something that when it opens, it's going to be brand new, beautiful. I'm not ripping it down. I'll be using the steel. So we're using the structure. We're using some of the marble, and some of the marble comes down. But when it's open, it'll be brand new and really beautiful. It'll be at the highest level. We can do a much better job, probably in a way a faster job in terms, because when you do it piecemeal, for instance, they have a play tonight, and you can't do anything. You have to pull out everything, and you can't have stanchions all over the place, and people are walking in to see a play. So we'll be closing it sometime around July 4th. It's like we'll close it on July 4th in order to do something great for America, and then we're going to build it. We have great contractors. We're going to build it, and we'll do it right. We're using the highest grade marbles, the highest grade everything. It'll be brand new. Tremendous carriers putting in the air conditioning, or I guess they're a bidder, but they're probably going to get it. Carrier. We're going to have all brand new air conditioning, heating. The steel will all be checked out because it'll be fully exposed. It's been up for a long time. But as anybody knows, it was in very bad shape. Wasn't kept well before I got there. So we're going to make it, I think there won't be anything like it in the country.
Sir, Mr. President?
Yeah, please.
About your meeting with President Petro later this week, he's been quite critical of you since you spoke back in January after the Maduro raid. What would you like to hear from him tomorrow in terms of drug trafficking in Venezuela? What are your expectations?
Well, we're going to see. I mean, he's been very nice over the last month or two. He was certainly critical before that, but somehow after the Venezuelan raid, he became very nice. He changed his attitude very much. So, no, I look forward to seeing him. He's coming in. We're going to be talking about drugs because tremendous amounts of drugs come out of his country. And I look forward to see. We're going to have a good meeting. Yeah.
Mr. President.
Steve
Witkoff is going to meet with the Iranian Foreign Minister on Friday. What are you hoping he'll get out of that meeting?
Well, you're going to have a lot of things are happening. You have Iran, and you have Russia, Ukraine, and you have the Middle East. We have a lot of things going. A lot of problems were here for a long time before I got here. We settled 8 wars, And I think we're doing very well with Ukraine and Russia. For the first time, I'm saying that. I think we're going to maybe have some good news. We're losing 25,000 people a month are being killed in that war, ridiculous war. 25,000. It was 31,000 last month. Think of it. Young, beautiful kids, the kids of parents, their parents. It doesn't affect us in one way, but in another way, it's 25,000 souls that if I can solve it, we're not spending money like Biden did. He gave $350 billion away. I make everyone pay. And the United Nations, they're a little bit involved, but if you take a look at what's happening, the countries of Europe are paying us for the weapons. So we have NATO paying, we send missiles over there, they pay us in full. It doesn't cost us 10 cents. And we make money, I guess, but I don't even want to talk about that, because what I really want to do is save those people from dying. They lose, Mary, can you imagine 25,000 to 30,000 people a month? That's like a stadium full of people every single month. And, I was blessed with something where I can get these things done. Got 8 of them done. I thought all 8 were going to be more difficult than this one. I thought my relationship with President Putin would give us a, much easier road. But there's tremendous hatred between Zelensky and Putin. Tremendous hatred. I mean, it's a shame, but it's taken longer than we thought. I did call up President Putin, and he's agreed. He's put it out to. They have the same cold wave that we do. Maybe different because it's pretty far away, but it's the equivalent. And Ukraine's a very cold country. It's much colder than us. It's colder than, they say, on average, it's Canada or colder. And on top of that, they have a tremendous cold wave. And I asked him if he wouldn't shoot for a period of 1 week, no missiles going into Kiev or any other towns, and he's agreed to do it. So it's something.
What about Iran's nuclear program? Do you think Mr. Witkoff can deal on that?
Well, we're talking about that. We have ships heading to Iran right now, big ones, biggest and the best. And
big ones?
We have
big ones.
Talks going on with Iran. We'll see how it all works out.
Mr. President, the Pentagon released National Defense Strategy last week, and it says...
Where are you from with that, nice?
I'm from Europe,
Good.
from Lithuania, Baltic States.
Good.
National Defense Strategy says that U.S. will provide critical but only limited support for European defense. What does that mean, limited support? Will the U.S. still provide...
Well, we get along very well with Europe. I do. Because, don't forget, I got the GDP lifted from 2% to 5%. Nobody thought that could be possible. And they're giving us a lot of that money. We have the best military equipment. We're selling it to NATO. But I get along very well. But Europe has to be careful because, there are those that say it's no longer recognizable between immigration and energy. It's... There's so much potential. In UK, you have the North Sea oil, and they basically closed it down. And then they buy energy from Norway, which is the North Sea oil. So you figure that one, and Norway's got trillions of dollars. They have to be careful. You need energy, and you can't do the windmills because the windmills, you're supposed to make money with energy, not lose money. So I'm very disappointed. I love Europe. I love the people of Europe. And they have to be very careful. They're at a tipping point. You have tremendous immigration problems, and you have tremendous energy problems. It's a bad combination.
Mr. President, thank you, Mr. President. Kristi Noem just announced that you're deploying body cameras to Minneapolis. What's your thinking behind this decision, and do you want to see this?
Well, it wasn't my decision. I leave it to her. They generally tend to be good for law enforcement because people can't lie about what's happening. So it's, generally speaking, I think 80% good for law enforcement. But if she wants to do that, I'm okay with it. Remember one thing, we closed the border. I got elected on a disastrous border. And we have nobody coming in through our border anymore. We had 25 million people come in 4 years through our border. God. Many of them were murderers and drug dealers and mentally insane from mental institutions and insane asylums. And now, we don't have anybody coming in. For 9 months now, they actually report 0. We have 0 people coming in, which I find hard to believe, but the Democrats do that report. They tend to be left-leaning that do that report. So I assume it's true. If it's not, it's a very tiny amount of people. But we basically have a tremendously perfect, strong border. And also, crime levels are at the lowest point they've been in 125 years. Since 1900, we have the best numbers, and that's despite the fact that we had a lot of criminals and murderers. 11,801. I mean, we haven't had one in a long time. D.C. has become a very safe. There was we haven't had one in a long time. D.C. has become a very safe. There was a in-house homicide. It was in-house. It was a dispute within a family. We have had virtually no crime in D.C. D.C. is now considered a very safe place, and it should be. It's our nation's capital. And we sent in the soldiers. I read the Washington Post this week, and it was incredible. They were trying to determine how did we get so low numbers? The low numbers in D.C. because we have very little crime, if any. And they talked about everything except for the fact that we put our National Guard and great soldiers inside our city. They didn't want to mention that. It's how dishonest. Because if we didn't do that, you'd have tremendous crime in D.C. And I get thanked every single day by people that work in the White House. People, young ladies, men, they come up, thank you, sir, for making D.C. so safe. They walk to work now. A year and a half ago, they wouldn't have walked to work. They would have been killed or mugged or something would have happened to them. So it's, it's a great honor, but you got to read the story in the Washington Post. They do it. Crime is way down in D.C. Now, what's the reason for it? The reason for it is we have very big, strong, good-looking soldiers standing around. And I think they make the place look better. But this is our capital, and we have a very safe capital. We had a very dangerous capital before.
Sir, yesterday you said you were speaking to people about Cuba to reach an agreement. What sort of agreement are you hoping to reach? Is that with the Cuban government?
Well, it's a failed nation now, and they're not getting any money from Venezuela, and they're not getting any money from anywhere. It's a failed nation. Mexico is going to cease sending them oil. So I'd like to take care of the people that are here from Cuba. You know, we have many people that came from Cuba that were thrown out of Cuba or that fled Cuba. They came over on rafts. They went through shark-infested waters. I don't know how they did it. And it was many years ago. Many would like to go back. Many would like to at least visit their relatives. And I think we're at a pretty close point. We are dealing with the Cuban leaders right now.
Mr. President, the Wall Street Journal reported that the royal family of Abu Dhabi invested hundreds of millions of dollars in your World Liberty Financial. Can you explain why you decided to take that investment? Was that a transaction?
Well, I don't know about it. I know that crypto is a big thing, and they like it. A lot of people like it. The people behind me like it. My sons are handling that. My family is handling it. And I guess they get investments from different people. But I'm not. I have all I can handle right now with Iran and with Russia and Ukraine and with all the things we're doing. So I don't know exactly, other than, I'm a big crypto person. I'm the one that probably helped crypto more than anybody because I believe in it. And the reason I believe in it is because if we don't do it, Scott, I think we can say then China's going to do it. Right?
Yes, sir.
If we don't do crypto, then China's going to do it. And it's just like AI. We're leading AI by a lot. And if we weren't leading, China would have led. They're very capable. They're very good. What do you have to say about that?
You've made America the digital asset capital of the world. We did the Genius Act for stable coins. Many of the people standing up here are working on the Clarity Bill to
I hope it gets done.
Market structure.
Yeah.
And we're bringing U.S. best practices to an exciting new industry, digital assets, innovation, and it spreads everywhere. So the U.S.
And do you agree that if we didn't do it, China and others would, but China would?
Oh, China would have had the lead, and then others around the world in terrible jurisdictions would have been doing it.
And on Iran, sir, can you say what your threshold military action is?
Well, I can't tell you what I'm going to do because right now, we have a tremendous force going there, just like we did in Venezuela, even bigger. And they'll be there soon, and I'd like to see a deal negotiated. I don't know that that's going to happen, but I mean, if I knew I wouldn't be able to, I wouldn't tell you. I'd be very foolish if I would tell you, but right now we're talking to them. We're talking to Iran, and if we could work something out, that'd be great. And if we can't, probably bad things would happen.
Mr. President, on the government shutdown.
Yeah, please.
On the government shutdown, do you think there could be a resolution to this issue? And have you gotten assurances from House Republicans?
Well, I spoke with Speaker Johnson. I spoke with Leader Thune, and I think they're pretty close to a resolution. We were at 5.6% GDP, and we lost 1.5 points because of the 42-day shutdown. Think of that. We would have been at 7. Nobody ever saw a number like 7. And I think Howard probably a point and a half.
And now there's still a partial shutdown because of ICE funding. And blue states and blue congressmen and women are saying, well, they don't want ICE in their cities. So there is currently in America right now partial government shutdown.
Was the number, right?
Point and a half for the shutdown. Exactly right.
And it's very bad for our country. But despite that, we have the highest numbers we've ever had. You know, we're doing well. We're going right through it. But I will say that I spoke with Senator Schumer numerous times, and I don't think they want to see a shutdown either.
Mr. President, are you going to sue Trevor Noah? Last night in a post, you alluded that something could become.
Yeah, well, he said that I spent time on Jeffrey Epstein's island. I didn't. I mean, he's a lightweight. This guy is a terrible. I think he's terrible. I thought he did a terrible job at the Grammys. I thought the whole Grammys was terrible. I watched part of it. It's not watchable. But he was a lousy host. I'd say not as bad as Jimmy Kimmel, but pretty close. And no, he made a statement about me and Jeffrey Epstein. I have nothing to do with that. I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. And in fact, if you look at the DOJ, they announced, they released 3 million pages. It's like this is all they're supposed to be doing. And frankly, the DOJ, I think, should just say, we have other things to do, because that whole thing has turned out, I mean, other than Bill Clinton and, Bill Gates and lots of people that there are a lot of questions about it, but nothing on me. But it was even sort of better than that, because they found that Jeffrey Epstein and this sleazebag writer named Michael Wolff were conspiring against Donald Trump to lose the election. So Epstein was conspiring with a writer for me to lose the election. So right there, you know that I had nothing to do with this guy. But yeah, it's a terrible thing. The amount of time that's being wasted. When Epstein was alive, like 10 years ago, nobody cared about it. But they're only doing it. But now it's really hitting back on them because Bill Clinton is such a big part of it. The Democrats are pushing it. And the problem is that it's turning out to be the Democrats that were with and conspired with Epstein. So I think you're probably going to see a little pullback from them. But think of it. They were working together to try and help me lose the election. But this is the Oval Office, so I guess that didn't work out too well. Okay, one more question.
Mr. President, do you have an update on U.S. troop level in Europe? Are you planning any force reductions?
No, we have a great relationship with Europe. We have a great relationship with our troops. One of the best things that I can say is that if you go back a year and a half ago, so I'm running for election, they had the worst recruitment numbers in the history of our country. Nobody wanted to join the military, or nobody wanted to join the police. Nobody wanted to join the fire departments. We couldn't get anybody to be a proud member of our country. And now, Doug, as I told you before, now we have the best recruiting numbers that we've ever had in our military. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Space Force, we love, and Coast Guard. I love the Space Force. It's doing great. But now we have waiting lists on everybody wants to join. You know why? Because people are proud of our country. Because our country is doing great. I think Mary can say the same thing. You had lots of people not working so well, and now you just wish you could get them in faster.
Oh man,
it's hard to get them.
I mean, Sandra would
bring
just
people in and have training programs. We're investing in the U.S. workforce.
People.
Yes.
But 2 years ago, you didn't see anything like this. It's amazing what's happened. So we have the number one in the history of our country. We've never had more people that want to join our armed forces than we do right now. And a year and a half ago, nobody wanted to join. They were embarrassed by our country. They were embarrassed by our leadership. And now they're proud of our country. And they're very proud of our leadership. And a lot of the leadership is right behind me. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Press.
Well, there you go. The OG, the 45th, now the 47th president of the United States. That some bad actors, okay, would not let him do his job. They won't let this man do his job. I totally believe that this is genuine. Okay, this is what I truly believe. I believe that if only America would allow President Trump do his duties as a president and not try to cause so many distractions for him, because in my opinion, they're just trying to slow this guy down because they know he's unstoppable. It's like he's a moving train every single time. He's always ascending. So it's like, okay, what's the best way to distract this guy? It's the same thing that happened in 2020. This guy made the economy a shining glitter. It's like gold, basically. Mortgage rate was so low, gas was low, everything was low. There was no way he was going to lose the 2020 election. But hey, cities started getting burnt down. Everybody was panicking and like they thought that was the end of America. So it's like maybe Trump is the reason this is happening. Okay, we're not just okay. Maybe I will vote somebody else. I heard people in 2020 that actually loved President Trump, and they were still saying like, I love President Trump. I like what he's done, but I just feel like maybe the divide is too much, and maybe Joe Biden was gonna unite the country. Let me vote for Joe Biden, even though they actually cherish President Trump. So I guess that's what they're trying to do with this ice out and the paid agitators and everything. It is to slow him down, make sure that he doesn't have a successor. They don't want JD Vance to be the next president. And of course they don't want the Republicans to keep Congress. Of course they don't want that. Of course. So I mean the Trump administration has to be strategic with the way, they do whatever they're doing because you still have to win elections. Okay. I know it might sound like everything is about politics, it's about politics, but if you don't win elections, you can't really make policies. So, uh, he still has to do what he has to do. He still has to make sure he's being rational. And that's why he sent the Baltazar, Tom Homan, to Minnesota and he withdrew so many people away from Minnesota. I mean, the old Trump that everybody knew, he would have doubled down and say, you know what, you wanna fuck around? All right, let's go. But he knows in his heart of hearts that as much as you wanna go crazy and do everything immediately, you still have to sort of be strategic about your moves. Okay. So of course, he wants to keep every policy that he's making right now for America. He wants to keep it. But if you don't win election, the next person is going to come and just erase everything you've done. That's why if you watch President Trump this second term, he's trying to make everything he's doing permanent. Have you noticed? Have you noticed, guys? He's trying to make everything permanent. Every policy he's signing, he's making sure he's finding ways to make it permanent. But this is America. You can always amend laws, okay? And nothing is really, really permanent, okay? Because there are ways to go around it and just really just make it irrelevant. Okay, so just imagine Gavin Newsom becomes the next president of America. You think everything President Trump has done is gonna stand? He's gonna erase every single thing President Trump has done immediately, literally on day one. On day one, it's gone. So Trump knows. Trump knows he has to win elections. Shout out to shout out to you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like and share. God bless you. I think you can share this one and you can like as well. So it's not like the vertical. Shout shout out to shout out to Porter Music. Porter Music says, "I feel Trump trusts God with what he can't do himself." Hmm. 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 Porter Music says, "He feels Trump trust God with what he cannot do himself." Absolutely. If you love God and you say you believe in God, you should have that mindset and just you can only do what you can as a man or a woman. You can only do what you can and leave the rest to God because what can you do? And Jules says Republicans need to show up and vote for the midterms. I don't know. Democrats are counting on us not showing up for the midterms. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody has to show up for the midterms. But the thing is, it's always hard for the person who occupies or the party who occupies the White House to win majority in Congress. It's always been like that for a long time. So if Republican Party loses Congress, a majority in Congress is like, I mean, I'm not gonna be surprised because it's happened for generations. Okay. But what I would be surprised is, or what I would be surprised about is in 2028, Gavin Newsom becoming the president. Just imagine President Gavin Newsom. Oh, what? President Gavin Newsom. Hey, Kamala Harris, vice president. Hey, can she be vice president again? Can she run for the vice presidential seat again? I don't know if that's possible, but he could bring Kamala Harris and say, "You be the Secretary of State." They're gonna undo everything President Trump has done. Every single thing President Trump has done. So just think about the consequences of elections because people are saying, well, you better listen to Jules, go outside and vote because if you don't vote and you're seeing all these videos and saying, well, maybe President Trump needs to take it easy. You about to see and watch movies. You like people forget quickly. You forget how unaffordable things were in between 2021 to 2023, 2024. People forget stuff, okay? People forget stuff. Now you're seeing gas prices going down, inflation is going down. The wars that didn't start when President Trump was there during his first term, you saw what happened when he left. Wars. These people love wars. President Trump is getting out of wars, trying to end wars. What else can you ask for? What else? And now he's saying BlackRock and this big, huge corporations and hedge funds and whatever they do, he's saying you cannot buy single family homes anymore. And guess what BlackRock did? I don't know if you guys follow BlackRock or the stock market or, the finance industry. BlackRock moved $2 trillion out of the United States. Why? Because there's someone in the White House who is thinking about the normal, everyday Americans who work hard. And that's why he's put his person as Fed chair. And people are going to say, well, yeah, that's not constitutional. But the interest rate is going to go down. I was about to say the fucking interest rate is going to go down. It's like it's going to go down. Now, first time home buyers can afford a home. And the interest rate as well. Of course, is that going to drive prices up when interest rate is low? Of course, prices are going to go up because how then do you consolidate? Of course, that's what happened in 2020 as well. But I would rather have 20 to 50K on a house with a 2% interest rate than have a 200K home with a 11% interest rate because that's something you would pay for the next 30, 40 years of your mortgage. So lower interest rate is usually the best thing. And that's what this guy is fighting for. And who does lower interest rate help? The regular, everyday American. But by the time BlackRock and other corporations buy up all of these single family homes, what do you think is going to happen? And this is how you know the enemy of the people. And you know the people who actually love America. I could tell you President Trump truly, really loves America because everybody knows Well, BlackRock is. Okay. Everybody knows these people, this corporation, they control the economy. Okay, they control the economy. They don't, it is what it is. Those are the people that control the world's economy. Okay, these guys have about $11 trillion in assets. Do you know what that means? 11 trillion. I may be wrong. I think they have 14 trillion. 14 trillion or 11 trillion in asset under management. That's just mind blowing. 11 trillion. You could buy countries with $11 trillion. They moved $2 trillion out of America because some people don't even understand that other countries have stock market. People think it's just the United States, the Dow Jones or NASDAQ. People don't know that other countries like Japan, Germany have their own stock market. And if you actually do your research, Germany and Japan really outpaced when it comes to earnings in percentage. Their stock market earned more or returned more, a higher percentage than the American stock market. So it's like if I'm not gonna be able to buy up, if I'm not gonna be able to buy up every or majority of the single family homes in America, well, I'm just gonna take my money to another country. Well, go buy because people have to be able to afford homes. People have to be able to afford homes. This is how you know who loves the people. If you can allow $2 trillion leave your country and you don't even, you say, all right, it is what it is. I would rather the normal everyday American afford a home than have your $2 trillion in our economy. That's how you know this guy is not controlled by the wealthy. He's not controlled. I was about to say, hey, who's coming for me? Hey, who's got? Hey, but it's like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how you know who is controlled and who is not controlled. Nobody could stand up to BlackRock. Nobody. Only these guys. And everybody keeps, or the media, most importantly, keeps pushing this wrong narrative that he is only focused on his wealthy, rich friends. But in reality, it's not true. If you actually follow the news and see what's going on, that's why I say follow the money. Just follow the money. He cannot be controlled. And that's why they don't like him. He doesn't play ball. Okay? He does what he wants to do. And the people that voted for him and what he's promised, that's what he wants to do. Shout shout out to Dr. Luke, the GOAT. Um wait. Wait, somebody said because he is like what? He's looking out for his rich friends. That's wrong. You have the wrong information, bro. He's not. But then you're gonna have to do your own research though, because Jesus, we've been streaming for 3 hours. I mean, well, let me go back to the comment section. Let me see. Okay, so Miss Sandra says Kamala Harris can actually be the next Secretary of State because she can since she hasn't held office. Okay. And Ellie says, I think that's the best ticket that the left has. Newscom and Walls. I know Newscom on the ticket, but I can figure out who on the ticket with him and will he be president or vice president. I do think that Gavin Newsom, like if you go on his social media, that's how you know things, okay? Social media controls the narrative. All right. It's not, it used to be, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, NBC. I mean, those guys still have crazy, enormous power. And some of them have good information, some of them have bad information. But the fact is, now social media is heavy. If you had a budget back in the day as a politician running for office, you would spend probably 80% of your budget on TV ads, radio ads, billboards, and maybe community outreach and stuff like that. But now, 80% of your budget for campaign is virtually going to go to social media. Social media is the next thing. Like it's going to be like this for a long, long time. Everybody's on social media. All right. So if you're trying to win elections, go, if you're trying to win elections, you pay attention to social media. So go on Gavin Newsom's social media and see the interactions he's getting. That's how you know that these guys are very smart people. Don't think Gavin Newsom is not smart. It's just, no. Him going to Davos, or, these are strategic events that his team has planned out for him. They're mapping out his way to the White House. That's what they're doing. They think he's probably the only person that can stand toe to toe with JD Vance in a debate, because they've tried Kamala Harris. They know that's not going to work. So they're not going to try it next time, of course. But if Gavin Newsom becomes the next president of America, I don't know. I just don't know. Ellie says he's going to take the next exit. Oh my goodness. I'm so dying to find out who's on the next ticket. Trevor Noah for VP. Nah. Trevor Noah, what? He's from South Africa. He can't be on the next ticket. Having a home. And Dr. Luke says having a home is different than having a warm haven for your family that loves you. Absolutely. 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 Especially when you have, your family, your wife, your kids. Oh my goodness. There's no better feeling than that. Come home to love and hugs and kisses. Oh man. Oh my goodness. No better feeling. Miss Sandra says, went to Davos and had to stand at the back of the room. Right, right. But a lot of people are missing that concept. Okay, just like when Biden was president and other world leaders, like, the prime minister of Israel, Netanyahu, and all this, you know, the president of India, they were going to Mar-a-Lago while Biden was president. That shows authority. Okay. So him being at Davos, that's authority right there. Even if he sat outside, his people would say, well, he's showing authority. He's showing that he stands against Trump. These people just want somebody that will stand against Trump. They don't care about their policy. They don't care about if they care about America. They just want someone who would stand against President Trump. Because they know if JD Vance becomes president of America, he's going to be getting advice from President Trump, of course. So it's essentially saying that if JD becomes the next president, it's like President Trump having a third term, basically. I mean, think about it. If JD Vance becomes the 48th president of America, he's going to be getting advice from President Trump. Like, what do you think I should do with this foreign policy? And because those other world leaders, they respect President Trump, they're going to respect JD Vance because they know any tactic President Trump says, I think you should do this. They know it's going to be solid tactic. So, because they don't want Trump anywhere close to the White House, any influence close to the White House, they're gonna say, well, if you vote for JD Vance, you're voting for President Trump third term. You know what I mean? So if JD Vance doesn't win, oh man. Because obviously it looks like JD Vance is gonna be the next presidential candidate for the Republican Party. I don't think anybody's gonna be going back and forth with JD Vance, especially as Trump being the president. I mean, nobody's gonna come and say, we wanna run primaries and see if you're gonna win. It might be like Kamala's, you know, the way they handpicked Kamala. I think that's what they're gonna do for JD Vance. I think everybody's just gonna say, you know what, we're not gonna just like what Marco Rubio is saying. Marco Rubio says is if JD Vance decides to run for the presidential election, he's not gonna be running. So that tells you it's gonna be like a blanket agreement saying, hey, JD, you're gonna do it? All right, we're gonna support you. Now, who is gonna be the vice though? Oh, 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 got me Sandra out of here. What's going on here? You know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I mean? So we have to do, first of all, we have to do better in America because everybody has to come to the realization that you cannot hate your country. Your family lives here, you have your businesses here, your kids live here. If you destroy your country, what are you going to have left? What are you going to have left? Nothing. You think UK is going to take everybody from America in, or who's going to take America in? Who? Nobody. You know what I mean? Nobody. The United Nations going bankrupt. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as America withdrew from United Nations, next thing, well, we are going bankrupt. Okay, America withdrew the cash cow. The cash cow is out. So United Nation is bankrupt. So America stands in the way of so many bad actors that if America falls, oh man, the world has probably ended. Really, probably ended because who's going to be the next superpower? Russia? China? Who? Germany? Japan? Too small. You know what I mean? Too small. So, everybody, arise, awake, love your country, protect your country. Don't destroy your neighborhoods and your community because you're protesting. You're stealing, you're looting, you're causing chaos. It's not going to work. And if you're just doing this to get videos for your next election commercial, isn't that just stupidity? Isn't that just pure wickedness? Because you're trying to get clips to win elections? So you want to destroy your community because of elections or because you want to win elections. So God is great. As long as God is God, I don't think any crazy thing would happen. Okay. Because a lot of people are living in fear right now and saying, well, things are going to get worse. There's going to be civil war or whatnot. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Okay. Because, people live in fear because of so many things they see on the news. Don't be like that, okay? Don't be like that. God is still God, and it is what it is. All right. Instead of looking for perfection, seek for consistency. Never give up on yourself. Never give up on your dreams. Never give up on God. Believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams, and believe in Almighty God. God is the greatest. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being here. And this is the longest stream we've done this year. And like I said, you guys are the best. The gang, you guys were in here tonight. You guys, I am, you guys, I don't want to say fucking around. You guys are not fucking around. You guys are not fucking around tonight. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to Porter Music, Dr. Luke, the GOAT. God bless you for the support. Shout out to your wife, Mrs. GOAT. Say hello to her and with your beautiful family. God bless you. Shout out to the veteran, Miss Sandra. God bless you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your service. God bless you as well. And shout out to my guy from Chicago, Chirac in the house. Ellie, God bless you. 13 month as a member. Shout out to you, brother. God bless you. And of course, Anders. Anders. Now, if you want to know about so many conspiracy theorists and stuff, you might want to join the Discord. Endgame, Ender's Game. He has He has all that for you, okay? He has all of that for you. He has it down packed for you, okay? So shout out to Enders. God bless you for being a part of the channel as well. You are so awesome. And everybody else who tuned in, God bless you. This is what we do. We love America. We implore you to love America. We implore you not to destroy your cities. You can protest in peace with love because you actually love America. When you destroy your community, when you loot around your community and you're saying we're protesting, it is peaceful protest. It is not peaceful protest. And you truly don't love America. Okay, whether you were born in America or not, okay, if you're destroying America, doesn't matter if you were born in America, you still don't love your country. And that may not sound, acceptable to you coming from, you might say, well, what do you know about America? You know, you weren't even born in America. Of course, I get it. It might sound like that to you, but I'm not destroying America. I'm not out there agitating, causing chaos, because I think that makes you an enemy of America. You can't destroy something that you love. Of course not. You're not setting your house that you worked hard to buy. You're not setting your house on fire, but you would set American flag on fire. And you say you love America? I don't think so. All right. You guys are awesome, man. Thank you for being here. I love you guys. I love America. I would never stop loving America because you guys took me in. You welcomed me. You embraced me. So forever, 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 America would be in my heart. Thank you so much. God is the greatest. Never forget that. And whatever you're going through, don't forget there's always going to be light at the end of the tunnel. No matter how dark the night is, you will pull through. You're going to pull through, okay? Stay positive, stay successful, stay working hard, okay? Stay providing for your family, stay loving your family, all right? Stay protecting your family, and God is going to reward you. I love you guys. See you soon.